Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of For the Dads. I am Sherman Young. I'm the co-host alongside Will Compton, who's the host of the show. This week, we have some really crazy stories. I won't spoil it here at the top, but Will has maybe one of the craziest stories he's definitely told on For the Dads, but maybe even in Bussin history. Make sure you check that out. We go through dad call-ins. Again, guys, 601 The Dads. That is our call-in number. You guys have been crushing the call-ins. We've had to dump our voicemails on our For the Dads phone already because you guys are blowing up the line. We thank you for that. You guys have been crushing the comments section. We're seeing comments all over the place, whether that's socials, whether that is YouTube. A reminder for the credits is when we play dad content. So if you guys want to continue to DM us any gender reveals, funny dad moments, anything that is fun that you want to share with us is okay for us to post on socials, make sure to send that in. And last but not least, guys, huge news. We are moving to a new YouTube channel. So the episodes right now that you're watching are on Bussin With The Boys. Next week, it's going to be on the For the Dads YouTube channel. We will be posting all content of For the Dads from now on that new channel. We'll make it very easy for you guys. Will's always making fun of the boomers, and I get it, but boomers can figure it out quick, and we'll make sure we'll hold your hand in the process. We'll be sharing that link of the new channel for you guys. But be on the lookout for that. Make sure you subscribe. We got to bump those numbers up. As Taylor always says on Bussin, unsubscribe, resubscribe. It helps us out a lot. If you want some merch like this, we have some new hats, some new bucket hats, and we'll put a link below. You guys can scan that QR code. If you want to help the show out that way and support us that way, feel free to hop on bwtb.com and get some new Bussin merch. This is a really fun episode. It was super long. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's jump into the episode.
Welcome to For the Dads. Listen, a lot to break down. I've been in Chicago and New York this past week. Right now, it is currently, as you're watching this, it's Wednesday morning. And again, I know I said in the intro, but for the dads, the older generation, the baby boomers who don't quite have everything figured out electronically, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel on YouTube, Bussin With The Boys. And again, we will be kicking off. We will have a channel of our own here in July coming up, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be teeing it up to you, laying it up to you as easily as possible to make the transition. Because again, I know there are a lot of older dads that listen. And on that note, I will say, being in the airport at LaGuardia, there were a couple dads who came up and were just like, "Hey man, love the new show."
Are you serious?
Yes, dude. I'm sitting there, I'm whipping around the little double stroller. Who knows the times they called me. I know one gentleman caught me in a spot where I'm just trying to make it to the bathroom and just try to find. Are we good?
We're good.
Are we good on audio?
Yeah.
Or I'm just trying to find the bathroom, take a little quick dad timeout. Got one of the little kiddos with me, and he just wanted to come over. He's like, "Hey man, don't want anything. I just want to dap you up and just say I love the new show." He was wearing like a dad hat. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Looked like a baby boomer. So that fired me up.
Really?
Yes, dude. Fired me up. It's
like in his 60s?
I don't want to put that on him.
50s?
Yeah, we'll just say
Okay.
50. He looked good.
He looked good for his age. Come on.
He looked good for his age.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But right now, I know you guys. I said you guys are listening on Wednesday morning. Get the trash cans out to the curb. We are shooting this. It is 9:30 on Sunday.
Yeah.
I landed. We had hopes and dreams of shooting this episode at probably 4 because we have a big week ahead of us. We have a lot of interviews that we're doing for Tight End U for Bussin With The Boys, so we needed to get the For the Dads pod in early.
Crazy week.
I hit the boys up saying, "Hey, we're sitting on the tarmac right now. We are delayed a couple hours, so didn't quite make it in. It's been hell. I'm just gonna kick it off. It's been hell. Number one, New York is overrated. We had fun. We made memories. We had fun, but I feel like I just got back from another military tour, just being with the family. We were staying at the Hoxton, and we were in like a 400 square foot hotel room where there's like no extra space. There's no closets. Our bags are everywhere. When you have a couple kiddos, parents out there know this. You'll know this too, but each kid kind of has a bag of their own because there's so many things that you have to pack for a 7-month-old. There's so many things you have to pack for the 3-year-old. things you have to pack for yourself. Your wife's got every outfit because she was visiting a friend out there in New York. So there's dinners, there's, she had stuff for work out there. So she's got a plethora of outfits that she had. So we had a lot of luggage. It was pretty much laid out, utilizing as much space as possible in this small ass hotel room. That was a prison at times. Which we can get into, but it's been a long week. It's been a long week. It's been a long weekend. It was fun being at Barstool HQ last week in Chicago. New York had some fun moments.
Yep. 2-0 on the dozen.
Yes, 2-0 on dozen trivia. We made it to the Final Four. I'll be out in Boston this Thursday. That'll be live stream on Barstool's YouTube channel, but the Booze Ponies we're coming. We're 2-0. We're coming.
I love me some Dana beers.
Yeah.
Just shameless
Dude,
shout out.
love some Dana beers. Love Feidelberg.
Love
Feidelberg.
Love Feidelberg.
If you haven't checked out Tires, go check out Tires Season 2. That's no free shout outs to the boy Shane Gillis. But Feidelberg made a little appearance on episode 6.
And crushed it.
Crushed it with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. And
Insane.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah. But a lot of good dad stories. I'm glad you guys are tuned in with us. And again, love all the comments that you guys are leaving. I was kind of just scanning through them. I love that you guys were just like, fuck it, dude. Go over an hour if you guys have to. We don't care. I saw one comment. It's like, hey, your guys' hopes of going under an hour are gone. Sherman, he now has a spotlight.
I'm the problem.
Yeah. Sherman's got the spotlight. There's no way you two are ever going to go under an hour. But that's a good thing.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. That's
I'm
a good thing.
yapper.
But just scanning through these comments, A-Rock86, shout out to you. Really appreciate you boys for featuring me. Shout out, no free shout out for the dads. Will and Sherm, you guys are the GOATs. Thank you for a solid future dad advice and appreciate recognition for my wife and I's journey. Big hugs, tiny kisses. Again, just a little warning down at the screen. This is not an expert father show. We're just a couple of dads just talking shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Mark Arnett, 6477. Pro tip for Sherm. Dad of a 10-year-old girl and 8-year-old boy. Leave the tags on all the clothes until the day they put them on. So when they outgrow it, before they actually wear it, you can just go swap it out at the store for the next size up. That is a hell of a comment. That's actually something you can crack a cold one to. That's something you can crack a cold one to. No free shout outs to Bud Light. And on the voicemails, like we'll get into the call-in segments later in this show. But Sherm texted me last week, or he messaged me last week saying the voicemail thing filled up. We had to take the line off for a moment.
Yeah.
Because it was like 300 voicemails.
Yes.
And we had to shut it down, get them off into a Dropbox file so that way you could reopen up the line. There's already 87 more. Keep calling in. I don't know if we're ever going to figure out a way to get everybody's voicemail heard, but we're going to try to integrate maybe more than just one or two. So if you have a motherfucked moment, if you have a crack a cold one too moment, if you have a quote or a theme or something that you've leaned on recently or a lesson that you've liked, you can share that with us. If you just want to vent with us, different ways where we might fit them into our segments other than just a hotline moment to where we only share one or two. Because I know there's a lot of great voicemails out there. We would love to get to all of them. It's like it's a great problem to have. It also pained me thinking about all the voicemails coming in because I'm like, damn, I wish we could feature. You wish you could feature all of them.
When you have that many, Chef, who we've highlighted a bunch, is like our intern for this show. But when you have that many voicemails, this guy's cutting up clips. We got 2 other interns just fishing through, offloading all of these voicemails into Dropbox. They're listening to the voicemails as they do that so they can categorize the voicemails. I mean, it's truly like Santa's workshop and the elves are just like doing the damn thing.
You say elves, but we have one and it's Chef.
Yeah, we have
Chef
one.
Jack.
We have one and he's having to also be like, hey, if you guys could jump in here because there's 270 of these things. I got to cut up these clips.
He's on intern brain, like, hey, I'm working on the show, working possibly for a job. He's trying to do everything possible to make sure this thing's right. Chef, we appreciate you for being here. 9:30 on a Sunday night.
Unpaid here on a Sunday night.
Unpaid here on a Sunday night. Shout out the boy Chef.
We did buy him dinner though. I will say that. We bought him dinner.
Nice. Good.
We got him dinner. What was the other thing we were talking about? Oh, voicemails. The streets are saying, and I'll pitch this to you, I'll pitch this to the viewers, but the streets are saying it could be fun every 5 episodes if we did a strictly call-in episode. That's just an idea. We're not saying it's going to be officially a thing. Maybe let us know in the comments.
if
that's what you
people, if
want.
we get I won't say overwhelming, but if we get a solid response and people just put need a call in episode, if they just have that in all caps,
Yeah.
we have enough of them. I think that is where you start taking into account, hey, this could be fun.
And I'm talking like 50 of those.
Yeah, 50 would be a great number.
50 would be a really
50 would be a great
that's
number.
a number where it's like, okay, guaranteed we'll do it.
Yeah, because again, we want this show to be about embracing fatherhood, building community, being all about the badass dads out there, just embracing the suck and wanting to be a part of it.
And when, yes, had some great, if we're going on just like people, comments, all that stuff, had a buddy from high school who was a girl dad reach out to me. We talk pretty regularly, but just via text, sent a really nice text about the show, that he was loving it, but said he sent it around to a bunch of his dad friends, and one of them hit him back. Like 2 hours later said, just listen to both episodes.
That is awesome.
Which got me gassed.
I've had guys being like, hey, I'm not even a dad, but it fires me up to be one day just from listening to the show. So it's like there are people out there watching and listening that aren't even in parenthood right now. And one thing that's also a great reminder, because you said your boy was sharing it with his dads.
Yeah.
Whenever we do stand up stand up this channel of For the Dads, or whether we have it on both YouTube and audio, no matter what it is, for this show to get a little bit more awareness, we need the organic growth from the dads out there, sharing it in your group chats, letting other dads know. I saw, a matter of fact, I don't have the comment pulled up, but when I was scanning, I saw a gal watching. And I was like, hey, I've sent this to all my dad friends. I'm trying to get everybody on board. She's somebody out there watching. I'm sorry, I can't shout you out and know your name right now, but I saw that comment and that fired me up. So yes, if you're watching and listening, share around with your little dad gang, with the dad army, with your dad group chats, because that's how we're going to grow the channel. That's how we're going to get this out there.
True. This is my very last, the streets are saying, okay? Another rumor that's swirling. And then we can jump into the episode. I would love for just an empty frame to sit somewhere on this set for next month. That's Dad of the Month.
And we got to pick one.
And we got to pick one.
That's a lot of pressure. That comes with a lot of pressure.
But think about how legendary that will be for that dad. When they get selected and they're Dad of the Month, they're up there for a whole month.
Yeah. The problem you run into is like there's going to be, I would assume, a lot of dads that'll be doing whatever. We're like, hey, this is how you get in the running for Dad of the Month. And guys have been doing it month after month and they don't get in. A little bit of resentment builds up. Like, boys, are you not seeing the content that I'm pushing your guys' way?
But then to that point, I would say, are you doing it for the love of the game, or are you doing it for the trophy?
Oh,
because we're not.
There is no trophy in fatherhood, boys.
There is no trophy.
There's no trophy in fatherhood.
And I am not a dad, so that's some stolen valor saying that. And I do apologize. I'm not a dad yet.
Hey, by the way, how's Jilly Bean doing?
She's doing very well. She texted me since it is 9:40 on a Sunday. She texted me a picture of her belly and
in
our
the
dogs.
third trimester. Coming any week now.
Yeah, 37 weeks. It said, we're ready for dadas. And I did not reply to that text. So thoughts and prayers.
She's good though?
She's doing great.
When does maternity leave start for her? Because I know she's in healthcare. Like, I'm sure she's over the fact of being in the office. Or she's probably getting there.
Yeah, she is grinding, dude. The people on her floor are doing a great job of just kind of surrounding her, helping her. But Jill is just, to brag about my wife really quick, very gritty, very hardworking, very determined. And so no matter how many times they're telling her to sit down, what are you doing? We're giving you the easiest patient on the floor. She is moving and grooving, doing her thing, cannot take no for an answer. So she's kind of her own worst enemy right now.
Is she going to work until the time comes?
I mean, truly, she has 3 more shifts left.
Her shifts are long too, right?
Oh, yeah. They're like 12 hours. They're like 6A to 6P. But really, it's like 5:30A to like 7:30P.
Yeah.
She's just a dude. She's a trooper. And it sounds like Charles the same way. I mean, she's got like multiple businesses. She's doing her thing as well. But I
love how you're trying to deflect it and go a different direction.
Yeah, that's true. And you have told me I need to
stay in it.
I'll take the ball and I'll accept.
Yeah.
My wife's a badass.
Yeah. Accept the shout out, man.
She's badass.
Should we get into motherfucked? I have some stories that I've been holding on my chest. There's one that I haven't even told you about that was wild. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And I refrained from saying it on Bussin' With The Boys because I felt like this is a great one to live on for the dads.
That's a big moment, dude. We're getting breaking news on FTD.
This isn't a positive. This is not a positive. This is a learning experience for all of the parents out there that just a snap of the finger, dude, and shit can go sideways quick. And this isn't like a true motherfucked moment, more of like an internalized, like, how did this happen? But I'm sitting, so to paint the scene, it's Saturday afternoon, and I'm sitting on the island. I'm sitting at the island, and I'm trying to send an email. So I'm on my iPad, and Charles sitting on the couch, and she's playing with Scotty.
Sorry, Kitchen Island.
I'm sitting at the kitchen island.
Okay.
Rue's sitting there eating lunch. We're trying to get her to eat lunch, some chicken fingers before we have some quiet time and before Scotty goes down for her nap because Rue hadn't eaten all morning. Or she had ate a little bit, but the kids, they want to snack. They want to do all these different things. And you're trying to, hey, you're going to eat some lunch. You need some real food.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at the kitchen island with Rue. Charo is on the couch with Scotty, playing with Scotty. I'm sending this email. Rue's in the middle of eating, and I'm telling her, you got to eat 5 bites. I'm saying whatever to her. But she's trying to talk to Charo, and I don't hear anything. Like, again, I'm zoned in on my iPad trying to get this email out.
Yeah.
And she talks to Charo about doing this magic trick. And Charles like, oh, we can do the magic trick later. And Charles kind of briefing me on what happened after the fact because this bizarre moment happens and I kind of just lose all senses. Fire department's at the house. Yes, bro. Rue chokes on a coin. Charo had done this. Charo knows this magic trick to where it's either behind your ear or in your hair or the coin's like on your elbow and it looks like
you eat it.
Oh,
well.
But she's done this magic trick before over and over in front of Rue because it entertains Rue. So I guess Rue found this euro coin.
That's a big coin. A little bit bigger than a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's bigger than a quarter,
around
but
the same size.
It's up there.
Yeah.
And Rue apparently finds this coin. I didn't see the coin. And again, mind you, I'm thinking she's just eating lunch and I'm just trying to get this email off, thinking she's eating like, we do this every day. And so Rue's trying to get her attention. Charles like, oh, I'll do it for you later, or not right now. I'm playing with Scotty or something. So I guess Rue in her mind is like, I'm going to try to do this magic trick on my own.
Well,
I'm sitting there on my iPad and I hear like choking, gagging. And I stop and I look over at Rue and her fingers are down her throat. And she's like, and buddy, it's not even registering to me that she's choking at the moment. I look over at her and she puts her fingers in her mouth again. And like gags. And I'm like, what are you doing? Thinking that she's just like gagging herself. You know what I mean? Like just like being like, oh, okay, I found something new. I'm like choking myself or I'm gagging myself. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she starts like panicking, like, and I'm like, are you choking? And Charles like, oh my God, she's choking. Charles like sprints over to the island. I like stand up. I'm in like, what in the fuck is going on? Rue's choking on this coin. She's like, are you choking on a coin? She's like, yeah. And I get behind Rue and I start trying to do the Heimlich and I'm like, I'm like, got it up under her sternum and I'm like trying to go like up with it. Charles like, are you doing it the right way? I'm like, I think so. And I start like trying to jump with her to get this coin out. The coin's not coming out, bro.
Will.
Yes. It's okay. It's happy ending. You've seen Rue.
My throat hurts listening to you tell this story.
Buddy, I'm smiling through it at this moment, but this was such a fucking panic. She's choking and Charles like, watch out, and starts like digging down her throat. And she's like, I got it.
No.
And tries to get it up. And she's like, I lost it. And it's down there. And Rue's panicking. I'm panicking. And, Charles gets behind her to try to do the Heimlich. I'm like, what do we do? She's like, call 911. I fucking call 911. I'm in a panic. They're taking it slow. Like, what's your name? What's your address? What's your phone number in case we need to call you? What's happening? I'm like, my 3-year-old is choking. She's still currently choking on this coin.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it out of her and it's not coming out. And
are they coaching you?
Golly, it's hard to remember because it was such a moment of like panic and you don't know what's going on. Charles just jumps into like superhero mode, like yelling all these coaching directions to do it. I'm thinking I'm doing the Heimlich correctly because I took the CPR class back when I was a lifeguard back in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking to whoever, 911 on the phone and saying what's going on. They're like, we're sending somebody over to you. As they're sending somebody over to me, that call lasted 3 minutes, probably around the 2-minute mark. Charo is down her throat again. She's like, I got it. And then pulls it out, gets the coin out.
What a
as they're driving over to the house. I'm like, coin's out. She's fine. She's like, is she breathing? And I walk over to the room. I'm like, hey, I'm asking her questions and stuff. She seems like she's going to be okay. She's just in a panic. And she's crying. There's blood everywhere because Charo probably scraped her throat or scraped something inside of her mouth. So because there's blood on my shirt. There's blood on the counter. Yes, bro. Yes. I've been holding that on me for over a week now. Yes. And that was one of those moments where it's like you're internally motherfucking yourself because I was just trying to do something on the iPad and next thing you know, she's gagging and choking. And it happened quick. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you turn away for 1 second, you have food set up, you're trying to get something off on the iPad and she's gagging herself and the next thing you know, she's choking on a coin. And fire department, ambulance comes over. They're running her vitals. They're doing all this stuff. She checks out fine. She's all good. But she was choking on a fucking coin, bro.
Oh
from wanting to mimic
God.
a magic trick.
Can we, really quick, before we jump into this, can we crack a cold one to Charo saving the day?
Oh, buddy, yeah, we can.
Okay, because
Charo went into superhero mode.
Yeah,
I was in just panic. Like I'm like trying to do the Heimlich. I think I'm doing it right, but nothing. Your mind is going everywhere. That was so long ago when you do the CPR class that you don't know if you're doing it correctly. And
bro, the fact that she had the wherewithal to just be like, I'm digging this shit out.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm getting it
because I'm seeing it happen and my eyes are wide open again. I was just like a kid sitting on the fucking sideline, thinking like, I don't know. You're thinking your kid could die.
Yeah, dude.
Right there, because then when the fire department, everybody comes over and they're kind of breaking it down. They're like, hey, if by any chance this were to happen ever again, and she goes unconscious, all you'd have to do is just hit like I think it was like 30. CPR compressions, presses, whatever it is, give her some air just to keep oxygen going to her brain. But they're like, if she was unconscious, like we would have still been able, we would have still been able to save her. With it being a coin, we would have still been able to save her even if she's unconscious.
Yeah.
So just to put your mind at ease, because you're thinking if they don't get here
before her eyes close,
like she would die. That's what's happened. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm assuming Charles was thinking the same exact thing.
Also, we are not experts and do not take any type
this is not. Yeah.
But while I ask this question, this is my personal question to Will. This is not for the listeners to take in as advice. Aren't you supposed to do like the 2-finger or the 3-finger thing with toddlers and not like the full hand compression?
So Chef Jack is saying yes, so you can take his advice.
Yeah, you can take it.
No, I think with like Rue, her being 3, you would still go like on the front. If it was like if it was Scotty, you'd be flipping her back and forth, patting on the back and patting on the front.
Yeah.
For the compressions.
I think you don't have to do bottom palm, but you like.
Yeah, you do like fingers or whatever.
Up until like age 5.
Okay.
I also did lifeguard. That was so long.
Yeah. Dude, that was so long ago, but I was trying to like remember, like as I'm just like doing the Heimlich and everything else, but it was terrifying.
Will. Okay, also that reminds me, and I'm gonna go buy one.
Go take a CPR class.
Hey, go take a CPR class. You can get them for free at your local county hospital. Don't quote me on that, but do. I'm almost positive that's a thing. If Chef Jack can Google that, I'm almost positive that's a thing. Secondly, these choking like kid rescuer things, it's those little like, it's like a mask and you do the suction. Is really bad radio, but yeah, you put it on like it's a mask and it has this little almost like a ball pumper
Yeah.
thing on the bottom. And I've been seeing videos on the internet that make me want to go buy that thing tomorrow. I don't even have a kid in the world.
Yeah, that would be smart to do.
But oh my God, dude.
Buddy, it was terrifying. It was terrifying.
Round of applause to Chara.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
She flew into action, bro. And I'm sitting there like, how did this happen so quick? You know what I mean? Because I was the one like sitting by her.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I looked over, like I heard the choke and the gag, and I look over at her, and then she's looking at me and she like does it again. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she just starts kind of panicking. And I'm like, are you all right? And Charles like, oh my God, she's choking. Sprints over. I'm like, she's choking. She's like, she's got a coin. I'm just thinking, a fucking coin. I'm just thinking, what in the hell is happening? Again, immediately started doing the Heimlich. Charles like idly standing by, just like, watch out. She's like, watch out, move. You call 911. She starts fucking trying to dig down. Dude, it was terrifying, dude.
Thank God I do have a nurse for a wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to pop quiz her when I get home and not tell her this part of the story first, but I'd be like, hey, theoretically.
Yeah.
Like Scarlett's chewing on it. You know, she gets a coin down there. What are we doing? Test her.
Yeah.
But hopefully she knows what she's doing.
You Heimlich until you would basically, what they were kind of telling us is you would Heimlich and try to get it out up until they go unconscious. When they go unconscious, again, you can't, like, don't panic, and you sit there and do the compressions. You would hit 30 compressions, try to blow, get oxygen to their brain. You're just trying to keep oxygen going until help gets there.
Yeah.
Because they were there within 5 minutes from the call.
Damn.
We were on the phone. She's like, I got somebody headed your way. And even when I was like, hey, the coin's out, I think she's all good. They're already on their way. So whenever they get there, like, they'll check vitals and make sure everything's clear. And they were saying it's honestly it's better. Like, it's a good thing that it was a coin and not food, because food can start breaking down and actually block her throat or where she was breathing. Because since Rue didn't pass out, they were under the impression that it probably wasn't fully blocking her airways.
Well, and it's so big, it probably got caught up more like in her
it was like
trachea. Is that right?
I'm not sure. It was like up here, and they're like, if it would have got, they were like, showing her if it would have got down to here, they were just kind of talking to her to have conversation with her.
Did
Rue
you
was good. She was
sleep
just
that
like,
night?
Yeah, I slept.
I wouldn't have been able
Just
to
because
sleep.
it was all good. I mean, you're beating yourself up just as a parent because you take your eyes off of it for a minute and something can go sideways like that.
Yeah.
And then, Chara was struggling for a while afterwards. And, I'm like, hey, maybe we don't teach the magic trick to Scotty.
Did she laugh?
I mean, she knew I was joking, but she's like, yeah, like, you're just not, Chara's not thinking she was going to do something like that.
No.
Because
No one does.
the last time I saw Char do that magic trick was a long time ago. And I guess Rue, she saw the coin and it probably just reminded her of the magic trick.
She's like, look, Mom.
And I think like Rue was showing her, like, hey, Mama, do the magic trick. She's like, I'm playing with Scotty. I'll do the magic trick here with you in a little bit. And then she just got a wild hair and was like, yeah, I'm going to try this magic trick.
Dude, thank God she did that right. I mean, obviously, it would have been better if it hadn't happened. But thank God she did it in front of you guys. Thank God y'all were there, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
I very randomly, this is just a dad tip for people out there. We were at a family like Easter hunt. Somebody had a green pool cover. And I was young enough to think that the pool cover was like a putting green because it kind of looked like AstroTurf or whatever. Walked out on it and went underneath the pool cover. My cousin ended up getting help, almost drowned. But it was like one of those things where like everybody's Easter hunting, like Easter egg hunting, and then all of a sudden they look up and, my dad's seeing somebody trying to fish me out. It's crazy, dude. It can just happen.
It happens quick, man. We were at a friend's a few weeks ago, and we were in the pool in the backyard, and Rue was playing on a couple of the noodles and can't like fully swim yet, but she can do like a couple things. I mean, she can go underwater, she can swim like a couple strokes or something like that, but she can't handle herself by herself in water. But I'm in the water with her and our friends' kids.
Yeah.
and one came outside and was wearing an outfit, and I was complimenting her outfit. And, I'm like playing with Rue, but Rue wanted to play on this noodle. She's like, no, Dad, let go. And so I'm like, let go. And she kind of does a thing where she like lets go for a second, goes underwater, and then comes back up on the noodle.
Yeah,
and we were playing for a long time. There's probably been 40 minutes at this point. And then the other one, the sibling comes out and wants to show me his outfit because I'm complimenting his sister. Oh, Will, look at this. And I'm like, look over oh, that's awesome, buddy. And dude, I turn around and Rue was like struggling in the water for a moment. I just pick her up. It wasn't like anything close to her drowning or nothing like that, but just another subtle reminder that you turn your head for like 1 minute and things could be crazy. Nobody saw either. Like I picked her up and she was like crying for a second. I'm like, hey, sweetheart, like this is why, you need to use the noodle. This is why you need to be close to the side. Cause she was like, she's like trying to do things more for herself. She's trying to like prove to herself that she can do more without help and things like that.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that was just another like just quick reminder that you can turn your head for a second and something could just go south. It's scary, dude. It's nuts.
Dude, what in the world? While you were telling that, my throat felt terrible the entire time you were telling that story, and I felt like I had something in my throat. That was the worst story I've heard in a while.
The first time when Charles said she had it, I got it, and then she's like, I lost it. What's going on?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're 30 minutes from home 1 second. And I lost it. Like, in my brain, I'm thinking, holy fuck. How are we going to get out of this? Because again, I'm not thinking about like when they were over at the house being like, oh, we would have still got it out and you guys would have been fine. I'm thinking that was like a life or death moment, getting that out before the ambulance and fire department shows up. Yeah. Yeah. What, so what's your motherfucker?
So what's my motherfucker? Well, I'm glad you asked, Will. My motherfucker is that my wife said I need to talk with you guys more about college football and less with her.
She not a ball fan?
She's a ball fan.
But is she a ball fan?
She dabbles. But when she's hungry in the morning.
When she's third trimester and hungry in the morning and you're bitching about Baylor, she don't want to hear it.
When I'm trying to tell her, hey, here's the deal. Like a lot of people are kind of sleeping on Baylor. They could have a really good season though, honey. They're 8-4 last year.
Sweetheart, when you look at Baylor's schedule, what do you see?
And really quick, tell me, are you more worried about Auburn or are you more worried about SMU? And I get it. SMU is an ACC school, but they were a playoff team last year, honey.
Sherman, get your head out of the fucking clouds. We're about to have a baby here in 2 weeks, and you're talking about Baylor football.
We're going to the game. I already told you we're going. I would go to the game with you.
Go talk to your buddies at work.
No, but she quite literally was like, do you realize where you work? Because I told her, I was like, honey, I like talking about this stuff. She goes, well, I want to talk about us. I want to talk about our daughter that's about to be here. Maybe you can talk about that at work where you guys talk about sports and stuff. I was like, you know what? Got motherfucked in that situation, but she's right. I need to talk about that stuff more here, you know?
But is she? You're just trying to include her.
I am.
You're like, hey, here's an interest in my life. Chef's back there like, yeah.
Like, sure.
Arizona State, September 20th.
Yeah.
We'll start prepping for it now.
He said,
women want their men to talk more, and when they want to talk about their interest, that being football, they're trying to be vulnerable and share something with you.
This is a moment where I will get going, dude. Like I'm probably missing turns left and right on the way to Velvet Taco where she wanted to have breakfast. They don't have breakfast tacos. I didn't complain. I took her to Velvet Taco. And I'm probably missing turns left and right. I'm talking about Baylor and I get it. It's okay. I'm not upset about it, but it does hurt because when she's talking about her shows or she's talking about her stuff, I've been listening.
Yeah, buddy, this is the space. This is the show to do it on. Because for you to be as much of a college football fan or a football fan in general, as I know you to be, and you just got to the point where you're like, you said she's right. And it's like, hang on a second. You got to love yourself, bro.
I don't even think I was talking about Baylor was the best part. I don't even know what I was talking about, but I wasn't even talking about Baylor.
You're trying to share an interest with your wife.
Yeah. I was just sharing something along the lines of, I wish I could remember, but I think I was talking about some SEC team and I was talking about their schedule and like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Game day's always usually following Bama and stuff. You know, I'm going like a million miles an hour. And she's just like, this is the last thing I want to talk about right now. I'm like, honey, I get that, but like you put on.
Yeah, how many things is she talking about that you don't want to hear about?
Yeah, and when
you eat it.
I eat it. When you put on the D'Amelio show, the reality TV following Charlie D'Amelio and her sister, I sit there.
Yeah.
For those 45 minutes.
Sweetheart, I do my best to create space when you want to tell me about this Onyx and Storm book that you're reading. I'm trying to buy in. It's hard. But ladies, let me tell you, when your man talks to you about college football and the upcoming season and you just tell him, hey, go talk to your boys about this at work, you're just telling us you don't matter right now.
And you know what the worst part is? Because she is a Longhorn. I guarantee you, if I've been talking about Arch Manning now, honey, you know that, you know, they're saying this and that. They're saying Sark's really only like a player's coach. If he doesn't have the squad, he can't really get a team there. He's not a numbers guy.
Yeah.
And she would listen and eat that up all day if I was talking about the Longhorns. But I wasn't talking about her Longhorns. That's pretty selfish.
Yeah.
Cut that part out. Cut that part out. But yeah, that's my motherfucked. It doesn't even touch Will's. I feel like yours is motherfucked, crack a cold one, and potentially dad hack. Don't take us, verbatim on that, but
yeah, I mean it's all of the things in one.
Survival kit. I'm looking it up. It's
the
life vac.
The dad hack again for 2 weeks in a row, coming more so from my wife. Jump into action and try to dig that fucking coin out of their throat.
Get in there. Don't
Doesn't
be nervous.
matter. Hey, if you see blood, you just
the eyes closed. It's okay. All right. Fire department's gonna get there. You're fine.
Oh, buddy, yeah, that was.
Dude, you've had
nuts.
2 weeks.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the New York stories.
I know.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, let's get into Crack a Cold One. So Crack a Cold One brought to us by Bud Light. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL Draft, Tight End U, the UFC, Shane Gillis' 2025 tour, and their partners include Peyton Manning, George Kittle, Baker Mayfield, Emmitt Smith, Shane Gillis, Post Malone, Dustin Poirier, and the boys from Bussin' With The Boys. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Stock up now on Bud Light. Head to budlight.com/locator to find a store near you.
Guys, as you know, For the Dads is sponsored by Row. What in life are you trying to speed up? Is it your commute to work? Maybe it's waiting in long lines at the store. Row Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a secret weapon against softness. Row Sparks can give guys bigger, thicker, longer erections because they get fuller. After Row Sparks dissolves, they work in 15 minutes on average. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at row.com/dads. That's row.com/dads to find out if prescription Row Sparks are right for you. That's row.com/dads for $15 off your first order.
My Crack a Cold One this week is going to go to finding your way back to your teammate. I was wondering if I would tell this story on this show. I kind of vented to the boys about it before the show started. But finding your way back to your teammate in this circumstance, in this situation, my teammate is my wife. We were in New York over the weekend. We had a lot of great moments, but we had a couple down moments. And one of those down moments is we were at each other's throat at like 2 a.m. on Saturday. I'll preface this, sweetheart, you were right. You were right. I was wrong.
This sounds like a motherfucked as well.
Yeah. But you got to crack a cold one too, because we found our way. We both apologized to each other.
There we go.
But we had a great night on Saturday where we got a sitter. We were out in New York. Charles had a work thing earlier in the week and then parlayed into visiting a friend, a really good friend of hers, in New York. And we were hanging out with that couple. They have 2 little ones of their own, like 8 years old and 5 years old. So the 5-year-old was close with Rue. They were great to Rue. They were great with the kids. But on Saturday, we've been doing all the family stuff to where, we're all with each other. We're going to dinner. We're doing breakfast. Hey, let's go to the pool. Let's do this and that. But on Saturday, it was just the adults. We got a sitter. We went out, we had dinner. It was a little double date. We had dinner up on a rooftop somewhere. And then afterwards at 10:45, we went to this speakeasy magic show. It was a really cool setup. You go in, you kind of in this waiting area, like inside of this bar. Guy comes up and grabs you. He was like,
Was there a secret code?
Yeah, but the person who booked it had to do all the secret code stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So he grabs him, takes him over. Hey, you guys are going to the other side. Tell him George sent you. Go to the other side. It's a cleaners, to where the cleaners is closed. And you walk in and, you got the desk sitting up front. You got all these clothes hanging from like dry cleaning and everything else. You say what the code is. Hey, George sent us. And you take your little coupon. You walk behind. There's like a door behind all the clothes. You're like walking through the clothes and everything else. There's a secret little door. You enter the secret door and then you're back in this bar area with a little stage. And it was a magic show. We had a great time at the magic show. A lot of different magicians. They have about 10 minutes at each table and they get up and they do different sets. They do different things. It was a great night. During that night, again, double date. We had a sitter for all 4 kids at my wife's friend's apartment. So Rue
With
and
the
Scotty,
8-year-old and the 5-year-old.
yeah, Rue and Scotty are essentially having a little sleepover at Susan's.
Okay.
So they're at Susan's. They have a little movie night. They watch Frozen. They go down to sleep. Rue's having a little sleeping bag sleepover. Scotty's down for the count around 7:30. She's the easy one to put down. And Rue and the 2 friends, the 8-year-old and the 5-year-old, they do a little sleepover together in one of their bedrooms.
Yeah.
And throughout that night, they're alluding to, hey, the kids seem like they're having a great time. They can just stay all night at our house. And Charles kind of pushing back, oh, we can go back and we can get them. And in my mind, bubbling up is like, hey, if they're offering, we can take them up on this offer and we can just go back to our hotel room, our 400 square foot hotel room. We could have the bed to ourselves. We could sleep and we don't have to worry about the kids.
In that moment, are you doing any hints towards Chara of kind of like a, hey?
No, I think I nudged her one time. I'm like, hey, it'd be kind of nice. Kind of nice. She's like, hey, sweetheart, there are kids. I'm like, I feel you, but would be nice. And at this point, it's like 1:30 in the morning, and I am absolutely beat. Everybody's kind of beat. And we're finishing out this magic show. And again, they are doubling down on, hey, they're already asleep. They can just sleep at the apartment and we'll handle them in the morning. And I'm thinking, could be kind of nice. Sweetheart, come on. She doesn't want to do it. They're tripling down.
I was just about to say, don't tell me they tripled down.
Triple down.
Then it's like you may even be kind of rude. Then it's like, what? They don't want their kid. We're not good enough to have their kids spend the night.
Yeah, and then Then it gets to the point where I'm like, we're Ubering back, and I'm thinking to myself, why ain't we getting an Uber back to the hotel? Like, they've offered us. Like, why not take them up on this offer? Knowing that my man Chris on the other side is probably like, he's probably like, it'd be nice if you guys come get your kids. He's not saying nothing. No, he's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Can't be too hard. I know my man Chris. He's like, yeah, why don't you guys come get your kids?
Come get your kids.
And I'm thinking, hey, sweetheart, let's fucking just go back to the hotel room. So we go back, we wake them up. It's 2 a.m. We wake up Rue, we wake up Scotty, Charles getting Scotty in the carrier. I'm getting Rue. We get an Uber to go back to the hotel. Rue's throwing a tantrum the entire time back to the hotel. Obviously, she's tired.
Yeah.
All the different things, right? And I'm just sitting there. I'm exhausted, and I'm starting to get in like a bad mood for the fact that we ended up taking the kids back to the hotel. And we're pushing them down. We're going down the hall. We got the stroller. Going down the hall, and Charles makes a comment. It seems like you're kind of mad at me right now. Because I think Rue made the comment like, Dad, you frustrated? Oh, no, Dad's not frustrated. Dad's just tired. And Charles goes, it feels like you're kind of mad at me right now. And I'm like, we could have left the kids at the apartment and came back to the hotel. This is basically how I said, oh, so you are mad at me. I'm just saying it would have been nice if we could have just came back to the hotel room and got some sleep with each other. And so I'm, doing this thing. When I get upset, I'm very much like an internal being. Yeah. A lot of things fester inside. I more so suppress. I know my therapist would say, hey, you need to talk about this stuff. I'm a guy that suppresses my emotions.
When I've traveled with you for travel shoots, that happens also when you get tired, it seems like.
Yeah.
So it was a little double down.
Oh yeah, we were wiped. We were exhausted because you're running around, you're doing stuff with the kids all day. And nap time, there wasn't really a whole much of a nap time because again, you're just on the move. You're in a different city.
Yes.
And then when we're going back to our hotel room, like our hotel room is insanely small, so we're all four on the bed. Scotty's playing. You're trying to get her down, but she doesn't really want to go down. So it's like, all right, we're just gonna eat this nap time. So everyone's essentially just exhausted. And because I was on an early. No, that was a different day. All these days run together. But you're sleeping in the bed with your toddler. We don't normally do that. So Rue's like, she's adjusting all night long. You're waking up like about 8 times because her foot is like on your face. You're like, hey, sweetheart, you got to move over. Go bother mom or something. Apparently, like I'm her human pillow. Yeah, she's in between us. But we were just at that part of the night to where there was not a lot of like diplomatic resolution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we said a few things back and forth to each other.
Okay.
That I'm not proud of. I know she's not proud of. I escalated the situation because I more so wanted to suppress and internalize and say, no, I don't want to talk about this shit. I want to go to bed and I want to sleep on it. She's like, oh, so you don't want to like get this figured out and talk about it tonight? No, I don't want to talk about it tonight. I want to go to sleep. I want to put the kid down and I want to go to sleep. Well, she's like, well, Rue's already asleep. Like, can't you just help me with Scotty? I still got to do my face routine and brush my teeth and everything else. And I told her, I said, I told you that when we got to the apartment that I had Rue, meaning you have Scotty. So even though Rue's asleep, that's a win for me. You got to put Scotty down. That was the deal. She's like, oh, so you're not going to be my teammate? You can't have some perspective on how I've been grinding with the kiddos all week long out here in New York while you were in Chicago. I'm like, oh, so now you want to bring up the scoreboard. Now you want to scoreboard me to death. Make me feel guilty. I wish I could have been out here with you.
Are you in your PJs while you're having this?
I'm just in my shorts. So yeah, I guess
yeah.
I'm in my PJs. I'm like scratching Rue's back, and there's a part of me after the fact. I wasn't thinking about it in the moment, but after the fact, I'm like, I kind of hate that I was kind of going back and forth with mom, like, because Rue was there. I think she was sleeping, but when you're young, it's like you could be fake sleeping. You're listening to mom and dad argue. I don't know if she's old enough to have that figured out yet.
What are y'all doing? Have you ever seen The Other Guys?
Yeah, of course.
The whisper fighting. I said I had Rue. That means you have Scotty. You said that. No,
we were, the volume wasn't too high, but we were loud. We were loud enough. I was loud enough for sure. And I kind of do the thing where I like roll over on the other side. Charles like sitting there like shaking, like, rocking Scotty, trying to get her to sleep because she's fussy. Uh-huh. And I'm like, you got Scotty.
That at that volume? With that tone?
Yeah, I think so. I can't fully remember.
Oh no!
The thing where I kind of like roll over and I'm trying to fall asleep and try not to think about all the words that I said because I'm trying to just sleep. She's like, so you don't want to figure this out? No, I don't want to figure this out. I want to go to sleep. Just log us a therapy session. We can talk about this with the therapist. And she's like, we don't have, she's not booked for next week. I'm like, well, you better book her because we need to figure out,
we got something.
We got to talk about this conversation with the therapist. And she's like, well, it doesn't seem like it's very healthy if we have to use a therapist to talk about this. Like, we need to be using, we need to be doing the stuff that she's talking to us about.
The therapist is there to help us through stuff, not to solve everything.
Yeah.
Not to solve it.
Sweetheart, it's June. You don't want to respect mental, what is it?
Mental
Health Awareness Month?
I think it's Pride Month. Is it both?
Yeah, it might be both.
It might be both.
Yeah. Juneteenth.
Come on.
So there's a lot of things going on.
June's a big month, dude. June's a big month.
And I like to think I hard-headed that argument to where, listen, I'm going to sleep. I don't want to argue about, I don't want to talk about this. Being a dude, being a full-on dude, having a low moment as a husband, as a father, and as a man. And the next morning, she beats me to an apology. She's like, hey, I'm sorry for, I said some things I didn't mean last night. I am sorry for bringing the scoreboard. I didn't want it to go there, and I was like, "Fuck!" Because I needed to be the first to apologize because I was being a bitch about the entire situation. Because I just wanted to just go back to the room. We don't got the kids. It's like they offered. We take it up. Night, me and you. We go back. We sleep. We wake up. We go down and get lattes. Like we enjoy just a nice little morning before our little pool day that we were about to have on Saturday or whenever that was. And she's giving me the whole, hey, the kids are our responsibility. Like, I don't want to put our kids, the responsibility of our kids on my friend when, even though she's offering and saying yes, like, I know what it takes to, handle a couple kids, and they would have all 4 of them doing all their morning routines, and they're getting the same amount of sleep that we're getting.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's our kids are our responsibility. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yes, she's right. But we would have had a little lifeline. We would have had a little, anyway. What I'm cracking a cold one too. We ended up finding our way back to each other. We were both apologetic to each other because I was being a pussy.
Yeah, well, love finds.
And that's why I said I was like, I'm sorry for being a pussy last night. Like, I was really bitching about it, and I was taking it out on you, and I'm sorry for that.
Everyone won in that situation.
Yeah, it's one of those. I was going back and forth on if I wanted to tell that story on here, but then I think like that's real life.
Yeah.
That's like you go at it.
And that's a perfect example of an argument over something like trivial when you look back at it now.
Yeah.
But it was a good moment of like Charo's going off of that philosophy of like the right choice here is the harder one to make, to go pick up our kids.
Yeah. You say that, I feel even worse because you're 100% right.
Like, and I live by those words just because Jill's stepdad says
right.
them religiously. He's like, if you have 2 options, the right one is usually the harder one to do. And I'm like, all right.
God,
but that doesn't
is so
mean
true.
That doesn't
I
mean
could
that
not
it doesn't
see that.
suck.
I could not see it in the moment. I didn't want to see that in the moment.
We always get blinded in moments like that. I do all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad. I feel like every single wedding I've ever been to, the dad of the bride that talks at right before the reception's about to go, he's, the only advice I'd give you guys is never go to bed angry. Solve it before you go to bed. Like,
dude, I know
that's what they all say.
The whole, don't go to bed angry. I struggle with that because I am just such a being that I almost need a night's sleep, and I'll be a lot more clear-minded when I wake up.
Yes.
Because when I'm in it, I'm just not in the mental space to solve it the way that we actually need to solve it.
Yes. And Jill, it sounds like very similar to Charo. She wants to do it right then and there. And what that entails, and this is nothing against Jill, that it's going to be a lot of monologuing from Jill. And I need to maintain eye contact. I need to show her that I'm listening. But it's also 1:30 in the morning. I want to go to bed. I'm exhausted, and I don't have the brain capacity to fully solve this thing. And it's hard. It's a double-edged sword because it's like, Jill, you're not getting the best of me right now. I know you want to solve this right now, but you're getting a pissed off, upset, tired, and probably hungry Sherman right now who sucks. That's the worst version of me.
Yeah.
So if we did this tomorrow with sound minds and a nice sleep and some thought.
Yeah.
But that's just life, dude.
Yeah, you wake up the next morning, you're kind of feeling a little weird, like, I know I need to say something. I need to figure out the right time.
Yes.
Right tone. We're kind of like, hey, you want to get Scotty in this? Or, hey, do you want, I'm like, hey, what do you want me to get what do we need to get in the green backpack for the day? Like, how long are we going to plan to be out? Like, I'm trying to do all the stuff. And, it's just sitting in your mind. Like, we know we have some words we need to say, like apologizing. What was the little quote you said? The hard choice?
The hard choice is usually the right one to make.
I'm just going to call my wife.
I have a good feeling about this before she picks up. I have a good feeling about this. It's 10:20 on a Sunday.
Hey, babe. You okay?
Yeah, we're in the middle of this episode right now, and I just I felt inclined to call you and tell you that I am once again sorry for the way I acted the other night. That Sherm just hit me with a quote that said the hard choice is usually the right choice to make. And in that moment of weakness, I was very much trying to take the easy way out, and I was projecting on you in a way that you did not deserve. And I said it yesterday, but I was being a bitch when we were coming back to the hotel, and I just once again I want to apologize to you and then say I'm sorry.
Let's go.
This is like a bit. I'm so confused.
It's kind of a mix because we're on the show. I was kind of talking about my crack a cold one was finding your way back to your teammate.
Charo, I will say this, and I'll just interject here. I do apologize. When I said that quote, he grabbed his phone and was like kind of partially halfway listening to what I was talking about. I could tell he was like, I need to call my wife right now. So I don't think this is fully a bit. I think he really did want to call you.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome. I hope you're enjoying your night. I know it's 10:20 on a Sunday. I will be home soon, but again, I had a loser mentality the other night when Sherm hit me with that quote on the hard choice is usually the right one. I was like, oh God, yeah, she was.
I mean, are you like, do you truly believe that, or you're just saying that because of the quote?
No, I believe that because you were kind of giving me the run. Like I was thinking of from a perspective of more selfishness on we would have a room to ourselves. Your friends tripled down and offered to have the kids, and that felt like the easiest, most comfortable choice to make. And when when Sherm hit me with that quote, I'm thinking back to it, and you were leaning into, I know, but the kids are our responsibility. So I'm like, you were choosing the hard choice, even though you would have loved to have done the same thing as me.
I don't know what to say because you're on the show. So
You can just say I love you and you're the best husband in the world.
Well, I agree with both of those things.
Okay.
Let's go.
I love you, sweetheart. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
I think that went well.
I think that. hey, I think that went pretty good.
Yeah, I think it went pretty good. She said, I agree with what you said. She didn't say the words. Yeah.
She didn't yell at you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in the doghouse right now. I think you're like well out of it. You know what I mean? Like your tail still might be in the doghouse.
Oh,
but you're
buddy,
like,
out of the doghouse. When I tell you, I put on a heroic performance when we had to sit on the tarmac for
that's
all
right.
of 2.5 hours today when we were flying back from LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had Scotty on my lap. I, essentially gave Charles like a 2.5 hour break because I was like, hey, do you want me to hold Scotty? And because again, Charles like carrying Scotty, I'm messing with Rue a lot of the time. But dude, when you're stuck on the tarmac, we were stuck on the runway. We were supposed to fly out at noon. We got boarded around 12:30, and we didn't leave until about 3. Like take off till about 3, like that. Dude, that's a different kind of hell.
Yeah.
That's a different type of, like, the kids were good for the most part. Little dad hack out there. If you're flying with your family, always sit by the window. Reason being, if there's a blowout or a heavy diaper and your wife's in the aisle, she would usually have to be the one to go to the back.
After that phone call, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But you got to strategize at some points. I was A1. They were C, but they got to do the family boarding after A. But I don't work this hard to
No, sir.
just let my A1 go to waste on Southwest.
Yeah.
So I hold down the row that we're gonna be on full flight, not an empty seat when we were taking off.
Yeah.
So I'm holding down the row, and it's like, I just happen to be on the inside. And I was thinking about this whenever we were getting toward the end, and Scotty, I was seeing kind of a blowout. She had wetness on the outside of her diaper. I'm like, oh, shit.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, so we got to change her. But matter of fact, Charles changes her right there in the row.
Oh.
I end up putting Rue on my lap, and she just changes Scotty right there in the middle seat.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Dude, Charles ain't scared to get her hands dirty.
No.
Bro.
That's dialed. That's honestly awesome.
She ain't scared to get her hands dirty. She'll do it in public if she has to. Yeah.
I need to train on diaper training, by the way. That is something that I am very, not nervous about, but I'm like, I want to be a pro. I want to be an aficionado.
Oh, you'll get there. You'll learn quick. You'll learn quick.
Watching you do it that one time.
It's the only barrier you got to get across is once you realize they're more durable than you anticipate.
Yeah.
Because you want to be very careful. You think everything hurts them. Like when I was putting clothes on Rue for, really the first several months, I'm always like very careful because I don't want to pull a strand of hair. You know what I mean? I don't want her to be uncomfortable as I'm trying to put like a shirt or something over her head.
Yeah.
But once you get past kind of that barrier that they're pretty durable, then you'll get rolling. Not in a way to where you're throwing them around, but I remember when you were at the house and I was like, hey, go ahead, like change your diaper. or I was having you do something.
Oh no,
Just seeing how you were very cautious.
you were having me practice feeding.
Yeah,
You had me practice feeding.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was holding.
Oh, and I was showing you the diaper. I was showing you.
You showed me the diaper change as well.
Yeah.
But then you were like, "Hey, you can feed her. Like here, you put your elbow up here."
Yes, you were being super, which I completely get.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was the same. I was the same way.
I was holding a glass ballerina. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What in the world is this?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Not the like put." Put
set
the
her
bottle
up.
in
Get
there.
her
Put the
sitting
bottle-
up.
You got to push it in.
Yeah.
You can't just. I'm like, golly. And then Brad doing the bottle during the trailer, dude. I always think about that, putting the bottle underneath his chin, and Scotty just. I'm like, oh my god! I was getting so nervous.
Oh, easy. There you go. There
yeah,
you
you
go. Pat
got
him on
it.
the back.
And you're sitting like 10 feet back. You're like, Brad, don't
Brad, what are you doing?
just move it.
Yeah.
We ran long again, which is totally fine. But I was going to kick it to. We had a survival kit and a dad hack. I was going to hit the what are the odds.
What was your crack a cold one?
Oh yeah, okay. Crack a cold one. Will brought
Hey,
it.
listen. We got enough comments. People don't care if it goes over.
It's okay if we go.
It's okay if it goes over. Until people are like, hey, you guys gotta shut the fuck up. I think it's all right. I think we got enough good feedback. Like in my head, I'm thinking these would be a lot better if they're under an hour. I would love to ideally hit that every episode.
Yeah.
But knowing, like, I don't know if I'm in my own head about it a lot of the times, and all the reassuring comments, it's like, hey, we love you guys taking your time, you guys talking, everything else. It's kind of like, bro, just rip it, bro.
Well, if we're coming in with 2 stories like that off the top, I mean, those are bangers.
Yeah.
We looked up.
Yeah.
We looked up after the choking story. It was 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And that felt like
that
five.
one- yeah, that one
five
was
of the worst
crazy.
minutes I've ever been through having to listen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so my crack a cold one. Will brought up Daily Dad, and then he also brought up Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. I made it my homework assignment that first week to get both of those books. I have both of those books as well as some others. Shout out Papa Sherm. He listens to the episodes. He actually was the one that got on Amazon and said, I heard you wanted these. Do you want these as like a little gift?
Dude, let's go, Papa Sherm.
So Papa Sherm hooked it up. I dove into Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters. I literally have only read the intro. So we got it last night or two days ago. I got it and started reading it last night out loud to Jill. Have only gotten through the intro and then like part of chapter 1, but I cannot recommend it more just because the introduction is, and I forget the author's name. That's terrible that I forgot her name. Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters by Meg Meeker. Shout out Meg Meeker. So written by a woman, and essentially in the introduction, she's like, hey, listen, I've been a doctor for like this long. I've had to treat. She's done some stuff in mental health as well as being like a family practitioner, I think is what she is. She's like, I've had all these daughters come in. All these girls, it's the same thing about their dad. Of like, these are the types of qualities that I love in my dad, or somebody that had a terrible relationship with my dad. These are the things that I really wanted from my dad.
Yeah.
And she's basically sitting there in that introduction just being like, dads, you are the most important relationship with your daughter, no matter what. Don't care who they marry, don't care who they date, who their best friend is. If they're best friends with Taylor Swift, does not matter. You are going to be the most important relationship in your daughter's life, bar none, even with mom. And hearing that and reading it aloud, and then Jill like sitting there on the couch, it was fun, dude. I was getting like actually really juiced up of like, because I'm hearing you talk about that. I'm hearing Jill every now and then. She says this great quote. She's like, the only thing I've ever been worried about you, Sherman, is that our kids are going to love you more than me. And she was like, and that's the best thing I could ever be worried about. And she's always talking about Scarlett's going to be a daddy's girl. She's going to be obsessed with you. You're going to be her favorite person in the whole world. So like hearing all those things and then reading from this doctor, Meg Meeker, that wrote this like best-selling book, like it is your job to be her needle in life of like morality, of spiritually, of emotionally, like you are going to be the driving force in her life. Buckle up, because you play a really important role. And she had a great quote. She was like, if you knew how important your role was in your daughter's life, you'd be terrified. And I stopped reading out loud and I looked at Jill. I said, well, good thing I'm already scared shitless. So I'm very excited. And so I wanted to crack a cold one to you. I know we already cracked our Bud Lights, but I'm just stoked off of and that was only off of one night of reading. I'm going to get home. I have so much coffee in me. It's late at night that I'm going to have to read to fall asleep. I know exactly what I'm reading. So shout out to you and for that book recommendation. And I'll do like a more succinct breakdown, I guess, of like each chapter as I go through it.
I'm only a few chapters in, but it is it's cool that you say that too, because I feel like a lot of people have DM'd me saying that they got strong fathers, strong daughters.
Sick.
People I've talked or have mentioned the Daily Dad. I know I've recommended it before, and a couple of people also were talking about the 12 hours and 12 weeks, like the sleeping method. But a lot of people getting strong fathers, strong daughters. And dude, I'm telling you, whether, again, you're an expecting father, whether you're somebody that's already doing it and your daughter is young, whether you're older and you have a teenage daughter, like there are so many stories that she breaks down that, yeah, it's like the greatest thing in the world. And you just, like, as I'm reading it, you already know it's going to be one of the hardest things in the world, especially when they get older and resent you and have all these things where they push back on and they don't listen to you. And you kind of, I would assume, feel like you don't have a great relationship with your daughter. You come across a lot of these stories that you're almost, it's like in my head, as I'm reading it and I have a 3-year-old, it's like, oh, this is going to be inevitable. That you're going to have these like bumps in the road, or these could potentially be long periods of feeling like you're not doing good enough for your daughter. So even if you're a dad right now and you have a teenager, or you have somebody who's in their 20s, and you'll read these stories, and I'm sure you'll get, whether it's flashbacks or even things to look out and prepare for, that you're not going to be able to stop just because you feel like you have the best relationship of all time with your daughter. Because it seems, just from what I'm reading, that there are going to be those moments. There's going to be those phases, and possibly like years, where it seems like they're far away from you. So it's cool. I think the book is incredible. I think I would strongly recommend the book to every girl dad out there.
Yeah, dude. It's sick. Even when you were just talking about in the teenage years, when they started pushing back, she was like, that's when they need you even more.
Most. And it's not even something that I feel like you're going to have like a result from.
Yeah.
It's just going to be knowing that you still have to intentionally, just through your actions, just show that you're being there, because it's like them testing you, and they might not even know that they're testing you because they're so hormonal.
Yeah.
That they might just be resistive to you. But it's like, I feel like the book gives you a lot of good perspective to be prepared for, or again, you might be in it. You might be in those teenage years to where you're able to compartmentalize and understand what's happening. And it gives you some good practical ways to continue to show up, even though it probably doesn't feel like you're showing up.
Yeah.
So the book is incredible so far.
One last note I would say on the book that was something that caught my attention in the introduction was, she said, and this is for any dads out there that like, maybe you don't have the strongest relationship with your daughter. She had a great quote in there saying, this book isn't just for like dads at the, precipice of this relationship. If you're trying to heal or trying to like recover that relationship with your daughter, it is never too late. And that's Meg Meeker's words, not mine. But she says, it's never too late to revitalize that relationship. Like, even if you are separated from your daughter right now, like there's still a place in her heart where like she wants dad, she needs dad. So I thought those were powerful words. I was like, damn, dude,
it's buckle up. You'll get teary eyed.
Yeah, I didn't last night, but
you'll even get teary eyed over the stories that you kind of just read about. That's like, it's just, it's tough.
There were some stuff just at the beginning of chapter 1 where she was talking about like sex education and stuff for, what the kids are learning in school. And this book was written, I don't know when, but it sounds like maybe written a ways back, not too far back, but like.
We have Google.
Yeah, we do have Google.
There's going to be one story you come up on here pretty soon to where it's like the daughter, something happened to the daughter, and she kind of told her dad, and her dad was going off for like a uh
2006. Okay, because
yeah, 06.
Sorry, keep
Her
going.
dad was going out for a tea time, and the daughter was kind of telling her dad, and he just made the comment like, "Oh, boys will be boys," and just that comment right there, and it dives into that girl's story, and it just, I don't know, man. You'll get a lot of perspective, a lot of like, oh shit, stuff that you'll just think about like as a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That if you don't know any better, you get caught up in hearing the whole "boys will be boys" phrase.
Yeah.
And now that it's like you have a daughter and you're seeing it from a whole different perspective and a whole different lens, you just realize how truly important like those moments are. You'll like it.
Damn, I'm stoked.
You'll like it.
But that was my crack a cold one. And did you already do your crack a cold one?
My crack a cold was finding your way back to your teammate.
Oh, yeah,
My
to
crack
your
a cold one ended in a phone call to the missus. Just,
It
hey,
did.
sweetheart, I just want you to know. Hey, is this a bit? Okay. I am on the show. You are calling me out saying that this is a bit, but I do mean every word that I'm saying.
I was just checking my missed calls because I saw a J on there for Jill, but it was actually Jared Beeman, who might be the second most important J in my life.
Yeah, Jared Demon.
Jared Demon. That's a producer here.
We got. You have a what are the odds?
I do have a what are the odds? I put Will on the spot earlier. I've warned you multiple times. This has been a recurring issue with me at my past jobs. I do a very poor job of asking for PTO in advance. I feel like this was well in advance, though. But I did put you on the spot in front of Chef, and I said, hey, Baylor is playing Auburn for their season opener night game, Blackout, in Waco. I already bought tickets for it.
What are the odds?
Night game, Blackout, Waco. Scarlett is going.
Yeah, that was it. So Sherm was like, so I got tickets to this game. It's like August 29th, August 28th, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Paternity leave. I know I got it up until football season starts. However, once paternity leave ends,
Labor Day weekend.
yeah. How about some vacation time? What are the chances I get out of the office and go to the Baylor home opener Blackout?
Blackout.
I said, I don't see why not. I reserve the right to change my mind.
You 100% do. You 100%
I don't see
do.
why not. I think you are insane. How old's Scarlett going to be? 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months?
Yeah.
You're taking her to a game?
Hell yeah. She's
You
going to
got
her
the little
first
headphones on?
Hell yeah.
You know you're not going to be at that entire game.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll be in the concourse probably, 5 minutes into the
Unless-
first quarter.
Jill going?
Jill's going.
Okay.
It's a family affair.
So if it's a full premeditated, planned out affair,
Got a hotel room in Waco. Haven't
there's a
purchased that
chance
yet.
you might get to be at the entire game.
Okay.
But I would assume 8 weeks postpartum, she ain't going to want to stay at that whole fucking game. She's going to be at that game. When you guys get in Waco, she's going to be like, what the fuck are we doing?
She and to bring it back to our motherfucked or my motherfucked, quit talking about CFB. She's actually very stoked for this outing.
Yeah, right now.
So you're saying the what are the odds? Shout out FanDuel. The what are the odds?
What are the odds might not even be with your boss?
Yeah, no. The what are the odds are? Will we make it through the whole game? Can Scarlett make it through a full 90-minute
I think
game?
those odds are you got plus 1,500 at least.
Okay, I can take
Make it through the whole game.
I mean, I know that
This might be a little TMI, and you don't even have to share
keep
this.
Keep going.
Is she breastfeeding?
Yeah,
I feel so kind of weird asking.
but they have the little like kids sections, the little baby sections that you go into in the concourse for like the breastfeeding, the diaper changes. Could be kind of nice.
Could be kind of nice. I'm excited to hear how that experience goes.
Chef said we'll need a dad
might
vlog.
need a dad vlog. Yeah, I mean we are. This is for the dads.
At
some point, I would assume we might expand in the vlogs.
Can I? Could we send somebody down to film that vlog
Possibly, potentially.
if I buy the game ticket for him?
Well, I mean that would. This is where it's like the company would
Oh, okay.
If we're gonna make a vlog out of it, it's for the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to come out of pocket to
Okay.
make
could
this
be
stuff
fun.
happen.
That could be fun. Or it could be the worst vlog ever because it's like, yeah,
Oh, she gonna go feed? You mind if I get the fucking camera out of?
Chef and Jared are in the hotel room while we're trying to put her down. We're like, all right, guys.
Jill, you mind if we film this?
Okay, so Jill, hey, for this scene, it's actually going to be really good because here's what we're going to do.
Oh,
But yeah, I guess so. What are the odds is will I make it? Will I go to the game? Will we make it through the game?
I think now that we've talked through this, you'll go to you're allowed to go.
Yes. Okay. Let's
Now
go.
the what are the odds is will you make it through a full game with the misses, like with the
misses.
squad?
And any bears out there, any dad bears out there. If you got any tips, at McLean Stadium. I got to reach out to McLean and see what's going on.
The most important thing is that you and Jill are just committed.
Yes, dude.
You guys are committed. I think you can make it happen.
She told me all she wants.
Again, you keep saying she told me this is a different time frame.
This is different time frame
than 8 weeks.
But she said the only thing she wants in this world is sushi and alcohol postpartum.
Okay.
And she said as long as she gets a couple dogs and a couple cold ones, a couple Bud Lights before the game, she's going to be a happy camper. She's a big beer girl. She's a big dog girl. She loves live sporting events. I don't think Jill's the issue. I think Scarlett is the issue.
Again, this is Jill pre-mom. Maternal instincts kick in a little differently. And maybe she'll be a road dog and none of that'll change.
Oh, yeah. And I'll be sober Sherm all day.
Yeah.
And let her just, you go.
But it's almost like you learn different things on the fly because moms are so in tune with everything that's going on that moments that they find out everything that they put in their body ends up going through if they're breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't be able to breastfeed if she's drinking. She's got pump and dump.
Yeah. The old pump and dump. Yeah.
Fuck.
So you never know.
You never know.
Okay. You never know.
Okay.
Godspeed.
Yeah, there's a lot. It sounds like we're really
Shout out FanDuel.
Shout out FanDuel. Shout out.
Hey, sweetheart, you said we was doing this. Like, we got, what are the odds moment presented by FanDuel? We got to... We can't pump and dump this segment.
Chef's going, demons going. They fly. Will might even go. I think Will's going to come.
No, Huskers play Cincinnati.
Oh, come on.
August 28th. Come on now.
Hey, Baylor 2.5, by the way. 2.5 dogs. At home. Night game. Blackout.
Be a fun game.
Be a fun game.
Survival kit, dad hacks. We can rip through these. I see you got a survival kit one on here. Again, survival kit and dad hacks kind of run. I feel like they kind of run together because my dad hack is almost, my dad hack is a product. I guess that could be survival kit. I guess my dad hack could have been, and that's not even a dad hack. That's a parent hack. Even the moms out there listening, you get that window seat on the plane. Make the old dog go in the aisle. I'm telling you, that's strat right there. That's some high-level strat. That's
strat. That was again crazy after that phone call, but it's a good strat. I love that strat.
Ain't nobody there. Ain't dads will vibe with this too. But I think there's not a dad in the game that times up bathroom breaks quite like myself.
Yeah, you have said that you have Scotty down almost to the T.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about bathroom breaks. Like you use them as like a lifeline.
Oh, you're talking.
You hold the kid. You're holding the kid. You've been putting in. You've been putting in the holding time. You've been looking over at the wife. She had been holding the kid.
I gotta go. Hold on.
Yeah, hey,
Scotty.
Daddy's got to hit the bathroom. You offload them. Now it's their turn to hold the kid. They're not just going to give the kid back to you when you come back from the bathroom.
Yeah,
You'll be going to the bathroom doing your thing, and all of a sudden the time shifted.
Yeah.
Or it's like.
You can get an extra couple minutes when she tries to hand Scotty back to you. I didn't wash my hands. Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, let's go up and get bedtime started. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. They'll get bedtime started first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a little subtle. It's a little subtle game
Okay.
that I'm just putting out into the universe.
I have a notes section that I'll add bathroom breaks to.
I'll come up with more situations too, so that this can be like a solid clip in the future.
I have But for mine, I was just going to say I'm looking at my survival kit and my dad hack, and I feel like they should 100% be switched now that I'm looking at it.
Let me go ahead and hit the survival kit. My survival kit shout out, this baby product is called the Mom Cozy. What the Mom Cozy is it's this deal that you put the water in and it heats it up for you. You charge it, you have it on the go, but it heats it up for you. So if you want to get the water up to 105, so that way when you have the bottle, once you get to the formula phase or the formula stage, or even I guess, breast milk, you could dump breast milk in it and it'll heat it up for you. So if you're on the go, grab some room temp water or cold, it doesn't even matter. Throw water in it, hit the button, gets it up to 95, 105, whatever your desired temperature is. Yeah. Heats it up to it. You throw it in the bottle. You put the formula in. You shake it up, and you're ready to go. So my survival kit is called the Mom Cozy, because you'll learn too. It's like if you're gonna go out and you might heat up milk before you go, thinking like, all right, she's gonna eat, or he or she's gonna eat in about 20 to 30 minutes. So we'll be able to have a heated bottle in the car for them. Or like there's some backpacks that have like a little insulated sleeve that you might set it in and hope that it lasts for however long you need it.
Oh, okay.
But this little Mom Cozy is like this little portable heat up, it looks like a little, I don't want to say Yeti. Yeah. But it's something like that, to where you put the water in. It's got a little battery pack on the bottom that you would plug in and charge. You charge it up, and whenever you turn it on, it'll heat up your water to the desired temperature.
This thing looks sick.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer, because you could just have you could just have a bottle of water, and whenever it's time to eat or time to feed, it could be hours later, but you have this thing and you might be on the go to where you're not anywhere where you can get some hot water or some warm water, because usually people will heat it up, whether they get hot water and they'll set the bottle in the hot water, or they got a little bottle warmer in the house. This is like one on the go.
I didn't even realize that you had to heat it up.
Yeah.
But now thinking back to one of my favorite movies as a kid, Baby's Day Out. I don't know if y'all ever saw that one. Burns himself trying to heat up the bottle. The OGs know, then you know.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know you had to heat it. I didn't know you had to have heated milk either.
That's crazy. Okay, Mom Cozy.
Because if you think about it, when they're feeding on the boob, they're getting that body temperature milk. It's coming out warm.
Bro, I've been learning about colostrum.
Yeah. Dude,
I saw some colostrum.
Body,
that
like,
might be TMI, but I saw some.
Yeah. The little, yeah. Listen to this. So apparently, this is my wife giving me this game.
Okay.
But apparently, if your kid is like sick or they have a cold or something, their body knows, because the baby's like communicating with the teat, like when they latch on, and they're ultimately telling the mom what it needs nutrient wise, and the mom ultimately makes it like when they're breastfeeding. So if they're sick or something, the mom is like formulating something based off the communication between the nipple and the mouth when they connect, that, hey, my body, the baby needs this right now. So it provides them the nutrients that they need even when they're sick. Shit's crazy.
We're out here looking for aliens. We've been aliens the whole time. That's crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
That's so cool, dude. That is like, the human body is so badass. Like the way that everything on Jill's body is just like changing to make this happen is great. We were talking about like the swelling in the legs and the knees. Jill's gone up like 3 shoe sizes. And the fact that there is telepathy between the tit and the baby is nuts.
Yeah.
And then also for any meatheads out there that think that I swear to God, people like sell colostrum. Jill was telling me this. They will like syringe it out and they'll freeze it. And then these bodybuilders are like these juice heads.
Colostrum's one of the best things that you can take,
they're
bro.
like, oh, hey, you get some fucking colostrum, bro.
Yeah.
You get some colostrum, bro. Jill told me, registered nurse, that doesn't do the trick for adults. It does have a lot of nutrients in it, but it's not worth all the time of, buying some colostrum on the black market. That's what the streets are saying. Are you buying colostrum? You're looking at me like,
I like the supplement colostrum.
I didn't know there was a supplement.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, colostrum's a big thing on the market.
Damn.
You trying to get jacked? You want to get some colostrum?
You're one of the guys. You're one of the guys that Jill was talking about.
Jill, listen. She might be wrong in saying that. Because there seems to be a lot of research behind colostrum. Right? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Maybe I'm mixing up two stories and she was talking about breast milk.
Yeah, so there are guys, like I had an ex-neighbor of mine that thinks like boob milk is like the fountain of youth. So he would tell me, he would tell me like, hey, he would tell Charles, if you got any leftover that you're not going to use, like he'll take it.
He said that to her face.
Yes.
What was her reaction to that?
Laughter. Like, because it's hilarious.
Like a nervous laughter, like a...
Yeah, because we're like friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But
he's like,
he's dead ass serious.
Hey, no, but Charo.
I'll be like, you drink your wife's boob milk? And he's like, yes.
Good for him, dude.
Yeah.
Was he jacked? Did he look good?
He's a good looking human being. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe there is some science behind it. And Jill's wrong.
That's what he says.
What's the scene in Grown Ups where
Oh,
dude. Breastfeeding?
She has to pump and dump.
Yeah, and the kid's like 5 or something like that, and all the dads.
And grown ups.
Oh yeah, you're talking about when he comes up to his mom and he's like sucking at the teat and he's like, how old is he?
Yeah, how old is
and
he?
she's like, what'd you say? 48 months or
yeah, oh yeah. She says some ridiculous amount of months that equals up to like 7.
yeah, or like 72 months. He's like, so 3.
He's 72 months.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Great call out from Chef.
Yeah.
I was mixing up the.
But yeah, there are cats out there that drink boob milk. I tasted Charles. I haven't like drank it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna use this as a supplement.
You did it as like a bit to be funny.
Yeah, I did it as like, let me see what this is all about.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't that bad.
I'm gonna try it. I mean,
it really wasn't that bad.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, seeing the colostrum was crazy.
Yeah, because it's different for every woman. It's like Char was having a really hard time on herself because I want to say with Rue, she might have got to about 4 months. And there are some women who, you know, they like freeze their boob milk and they have like months worth of supply. But it just varies for everybody. Scotty, she had a little bit more. She's able to do more. Maybe her body was adjusted for the second pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because some women will breastfeed for a long time. I don't even want to say a number. But they'll be able to breastfeed for like a long time. Like I'm talking like a year, over a year.
As long as
they can. Yeah.
Because they're like back in the olden days when like you would have like a
back in the medieval time.
Back in the medieval. Yeah. What would they call those? The nursing, the wet nurse?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
We'll say it for this story. The wet nurse.
I hope I'm not like saying something super non-PC, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah. A wet nurse that just like, she just always had boob milk going.
Yeah,
so you didn't have to breastfeed. It was like, you know, put her on nurse.
Yeah, because there's just so many different variables. One being the mom, like the supply that they have. Yeah. And then another one is like if the kid is like breastfeeds well, like sometimes it won't be coming out fast enough. So they'll be very irritated. And then you start to switch to the bottle because they're just not getting a lot. There's a lot of different things that you'll experience in the in the postpartum life, because that's a real thing that goes down.
I feel like I'm in a holding pattern right now with this podcast. I'm very excited for Scarlett to be here, obviously for Scarlett to be here, but I feel like just the amount of stuff that's going to hit me in week 1,
Yeah, it'll be some fun. Yeah, it'll be some good storytelling.
You're just going to be sitting there chuckling as I'm like cross-eyed and like, what the fuck is going on?
And you'll have different experiences, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that you'll probably have like different experiences.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That it won't be the exact same thing that I experience. Like everybody's different, so you just never know. But it will be, yeah.
It's going to be nuts.
The fact that you're planning this Waco trip, week 8 of Scarlett's life, she's going to go to her first ball game.
And you think the Bears are going to lose with Scarlett there?
I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
There's no way. My survival kit and dad hacks, I'll go really quick. We have the baby Brezza.
Nice.
That was given to us. It's kind of like our, what's that
called? You get the bottle cleaner one or you got like the formula one?
Bottle cleaner one.
Nice.
And that thing is crazy. I got to see it in action. Jill also bought the set where it like holds the bottles and stuff for it. We had it on our, what is it called, where all your gifts are on the internet and your loved ones like.
Registry.
It was on our baby registry. So shout out whoever got that for us. But the baby Brezza is sick. And I'm like, why aren't all dishwashers like this? Now that I think about it. If you just had a smaller dishwasher, instead of waiting all for your dishes to just like collect over a long time and put it in this dishwasher where it's so big that it's not really like getting everything, why not have like a small concentrated dishwasher like this baby Brezza that just gets it dialed, and you only put like the cups and plates that you use from dinner in it. But watching that thing work, it was crazy.
There might be one out there now that you said, and if there's not, maybe it's our first product.
That'd be sick.
Just manufacture our first product.
You just George Foreman style
Yeah.
pushing these mini dishwashers. Hey guys, I'm Will Compton. When I'm not podcasting, I'm cleaning dishes. And then survival or dad hack was Goodwill. Goodwill came in clutch today. It was a Sunday, all the city dumps where you can like go legally dump your stuff. We're cleaning out the house because her parents, my parents, they're all going to be coming in next week because Jill gets induced on the 2nd. So they're going to come in on the 30th. The moms, I think, are going to be staying with us kind of on and off. Everybody has hotel rooms and Airbnbs. But Jill wants the house looking perfect. So we're like purging all this stuff. All the city dumps are closed. I'm like, where the hell can I take all this stuff today to like get it out of here? Because Jill's like, I want it gone. Goodwill, dude. Asked 0 questions. And I'm sitting there, I'm giving them like 2 or 3 chances, like the couple in New York. I'm like, you sure? You know, like, I don't know what's
down.
I don't know what's in this container. I don't know what I'm about to like dump in here. And they're like, oh, well, that's the miscellaneous bin. So you can just... It was incredible, dude. It was just a weight off the chest. So dad hacks, if you know, the missus is ever on you and it's like, hey, you got to get this stuff out of here. Go to Goodwill, dude. They ask 0 questions.
Love that.
But be good to them. Don't give them a bunch of nasty stuff to sift through.
Yeah.
Which I hope I didn't. I looked through it enough that it's like, okay, nothing's going to, poke
Piss them off.
Yeah.
Love that.
But yeah, it was a good little dad hack.
That's it. That is a good dad hack. Should we dive into the voicemails?
Let's dive into the voicemails. Do you want to do a serious one or a funny one first?
Serious.
Okay, and the serious is not overly serious this week. It's more so this dad is looking for advice directly from Will Compton. I cannot answer this question.
Hey, fellas, this is Thomas from Chattanooga. Want to call in and get some advice from the boys about making the jump from 1 to 2 kids. My wife's expecting our second in November. We'll have 2 under 2. Just kind of wanted to see what that jump was like and what to expect from it. All right, thanks, fellas.
Thomas from Chattanooga, appreciate you calling in, brother. 2 under 2, I hear, is a different animal. Char and I, we were trying to go for 2 under 2, but we obviously, if you listen to the IVF podcast on Bussin With The Boys around Mother's Day that we dropped it, we had problems getting pregnant with the second one with Scotty. And so Rue was, I would say, what was Rue, about 2.5 when we had Scotty. So we didn't necessarily have 2 under 2. I do hear 2 under 2 is like a different animal because, again, it's like the first one, they haven't been walking very long. Rue, I feel like she's not the most useful, but she's somebody who's aware of, like, she's wanting to help out. So I feel like that helps when you have the older one. They're over 2 years old. You think you'll be playing man to man because you're not necessarily outnumbered yet. You'll be 2v2 in the household, but you're still somewhat playing a bit of zone defense because what the older one needs, the older one's going to be favoring whether mom or dad at the time. The newborn, you guys are going to be able to, like, you already know what to expect out of the second one because you had the first one. So the second one really won't be a problem. Once they get sleeping, it's going to be all about getting them to sleep, getting them in a good rhythm. I would strongly recommend 12 hours by 12 weeks. I forget who the author is, but that's a good book out there for sleep training. It's not too aggressive. It's how to get the kid to adapt to your life versus the other way way around. And that was like a method we went by. So really the first one's all about getting in that good sleep routine, because that one, again, it's like when they first come out, it's they're eating every 3 hours. You kind of know what to expect with that second one. It's going to be the older one that is going to be experiencing new emotions as they age. They're used to being the only child. They're no longer the only child. Something that we did with Rue, because we were very intentional about how we introduced Scotty into the world with Rue. And I was getting this stuff from, like, honestly, Instagram. But one thing that we did when Scotty was born is when Rue came to the hospital, we had our nanny holding Scotty. We had our nanny holding the newborn. So that way, when Rue walked into the room, your first child, you and mom are their entire world. So when she's walking into the room to check on mom, the entire goal was, while I was walking Rue, I was like, hey, we're going to go see mom and you can meet your new little sister. So we wanted Rue to see, when she walked into the room, mom not holding the newborn. Mom, who Rue saw as her entire world, being mom recovering from having Scotty, the second child. So Rue could walk in, crawl up on the bed with mom, check in on mom. And then we were like, hey, do you want to meet Scotty? Do you want to meet your baby sister, who our nanny was holding? So as a family, we kind of go over and introduce Rue to Scotty. So that way Rue feels like the baby is getting introduced to all of us at the same time, getting introduced to our world. That was one thing that we did. The second thing that we did, which Stephen Che, shout out the boy Stephen Che for putting me on this. And I feel like this isn't like a secret or anything. But when we were taking Scotty home, our second baby home, we were telling Rue as we were driving in the car, hey, Scotty got you a present when you get home. And we got her like some little Elsa jewelry or something from the store.
Yeah.
So when Rue got home, Scotty had a gift for her. We're like, hey, Scotty got this gift for you. And Rue opened up, was all excited. So we were very intentional about introducing the second baby into our home, with Rue being our oldest. So I would recommend a couple of those things. And then it's like how you can immerse your oldest into being helpful with Scotty, or like, hey, do you want to show Scotty how we do your bedtime routine? That actually kills two birds with one stone, because you're trying to get, it's hard enough to get your oldest one in the bedtime routine every night consistently. So you're like, hey, do you want to show Scotty how we do bedtime, how we do our routine? And so Rue would be like helping out. We do this, we do that, kind of talking to the baby. And in the same breath, Rue's getting ready for bed. So you're kind of like, you're kind of gaming her up to get ready for bed as well. She obviously, your oldest doesn't know how to read yet, but we would have Rue like, hey, what book should we read Scotty for the first time? What should we do here? What should we do there? And so we allowed Rue to be very instrumental into introducing Scotty into our house. So those would be the things that I would tell you as far as going 1 to 2. You'll get mixed reviews. You'll have the people that are like, oh, you only have one kid now, wait till you have the second one. But honestly, dude, it's not that bad. You're already in your own routine of having a kid in the first place, and balancing work, family, being home, all those different things, and helping your wife out. The second one's really not as difficult when you have two. Obviously, mom's going to be leaning on you to help with the older one a lot more, getting ready for bed, because she's going to be on a lot more of a routine with the newborn. But it's not as bad as I feel like what reviews can be on going 1 to 2.
Yeah, and I'm speaking so out of turn, I have no idea, but I almost see it as like, as the two get older, like their relationship starts budding.
Yeah.
They're able to start pouring into each other. They're able to kind of entertain each other in types of ways, like, to where almost like the 2-dog principle, I guess.
Well, it's like once they can start smiling, like anytime Scotty's like smiling at Rue, or because Scotty watches Rue a lot, just play and do all the things and just making the comments, Scotty loves you so much. Oh, Scotty loves her big sister, getting them to say it back and forth. So Rue feels very connected to Scotty. And another thing that we would do that I think we learned on Instagram as well, I know for me I did, it was like how you kind of talk to the newborn with the oldest sitting there. So it's like, if Rue wants my attention to play, hey, dad, can we play hide and seek? And I know I got to do something with Scotty before I play with Rue. And I'm trying to be conscious about just telling Rue, like, hey, I gotta feed Scotty. I can't play with you right now. Instead, I would look to Scotty and be like, hey, all right, Rue, we can play hide and seek. I just gotta tell Scotty something. Then I look at Scotty. Hey, Scotty, when I'm done feeding you, I'm gonna go have to play hide and seek with your sister if that's okay with you. So I'm kind of telling Scotty, I'm kind of saying that in front of Rue.
I like
so
that.
Rue knows that, oh, Dad's gonna spend time with me. He just has to. He's letting Scotty know he's got to play with me before he plays with me.
Yes, dude.
Versus being like, Rue, I can't play with you right now. I'll play with you after I'm done feeding Scotty. Because then in their brain, or what I've tried like learning or gathering, like in their brain, it's like, oh, I'm second fiddle to this new child. So that could build up some resentment, like in their brain. Because like, sweetheart, I can't play with you right now. Let daddy go play with you after I'm done doing what I got to do with Scotty. Instead, I'll look at Scotty and explain what I'm going to have to do with Rue after I get done executing what I need to execute with the newborn.
Dude, that is some serious game.
You like that?
Yeah.
Dude, shout out Instagram, man.
Yeah, shout out Instagram. That's so sick.
You like listen to the breakdown and you hear the why behind it, and you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And how it could come off to the child that doesn't know any better. They're just hearing, no, I can't play with you right now. I got to do this with the newborn. And it's like, well, where's the time for me? You know what I mean? And then it can build up build up whatever the resentment is. Like really the only issue we have with Rue and Scotty is if Rue's just starting to break down and she sees mom say holding Scotty, like it happened today on the flight. Like Charo had Scotty had the carrier and she was strapped to her chest, and Rue's just like having a little moment. He's like, Mom, I want you to hold me. I don't want you to hold Scotty.
Yeah.
So then you got to kind of, hey, I'll take the baby so she can hold Rue and stuff like that. But really, that's about as much jealousy that we've seen out of Rue. Is more of just like when Rue's having a moment and sees Scotty being held. She's like, I want you to hold me. I don't want you to hold Scotty.
It's very much the power. Forgot where I heard this or read it, but the power of we, the power of us, like using those types of terminology with like coworkers, even if it's a job that only you're going to be doing. But if you're saying it to your coworker of like, yeah, if we do that, yeah, that's going to work out great. I think that would be the best option for us. It's like integrating. We're a team, and like you're letting Rue know, like, hey, we are playing hide and go seek. That's a given. We just got to break it to this little thing over here. Yeah. I love that, dude.
Yeah. It's worked out. It's been a good move for us, but that's what I would, that would be my advice on going from 1 to 2.
Let's go. And then, we'll be reaching out to Thomas, in Chattanooga to get his address, and, he'll be receiving.
Did we do a good job following up with our callers from last week? Let's go, Chef.
Yeah. So our friends that do the merch stuff, we have like a great doc that's all put together. We're going to be putting people's addresses into it. We also, you and I need to write some thank you cards for those guys as well that will be included with the
love
merch.
it.
So huge shout out to Thomas for reaching out. We have another call from Steven.
Steven?
Steven.
Let's go, Steven.
This one might sting for you.
What's up, boys? This is Steven. I'm currently living in Warner Robins, Georgia, originally from the borough. When it comes to kids, let's just talk about the bedtime routine. My kids have had the same bedtime routine since the dawn of time. 7 o'clock, they go lay down. 8 o'clock, they're usually asleep by then.
I feel that.
So when it comes time to put them to bed at 7 o'clock, it's not just, oh, hey, go to bed. It's 7 o'clock. No. My kids, I have to put them to bed. So I have to go in their room. I got to make sure the ceiling fan's on. I got to turn on the curtain lights. I got to turn on their little box fan because we're from the South and we got to have 2 fans in our bedroom at all times.
Shout out.
Then I got to cover them up and kiss them and tell them goodnight. And all this time, they know they're going to be thirsty. They know they're going to want water.
Yep.
My daughters have 1 billion water cups. You know, they got the Owalas. They got the Stanleys.
Oh.
Do you think they fill that thing up knowing they want it before bed? Absolutely not. So as I finish the routine, I kiss them and tell them goodnight. I go to leave the room and I hear, can you fill up my Owala? And the rage that fills up inside of me could blow the roof off the building, because they have known since I started putting them to bed that they were going to be thirsty. Bedtime routine, super important, but I know I'm not the only one out there that gets frustrated by it. And then I just sit here and think, I just cannot wait for them to get older and put themselves to bed. And I cannot wait until they put themselves to bed. I got a 12-year-old boy, and I got 3 daughters. 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. But that's my story. Shout out to the boys. Have a good day.
Steven from Georgia, appreciate you calling in. The first thing I would say, listen, I can tell by your voice, I know you're in it right now. I know you're in it, and you said the words, I can't wait until they can put themselves to bed, but I need you to just to pause for me. And I need you to understand, all of us dads, all of us parents, I have those thoughts many times throughout the week, and I have to just remind myself that one day we're going to be old, and all of these kids are going to be out of the house, and we're going to be all lonely. And we're going to be trying to talk to our wives about the college football schedule coming up, and they ain't going to want to hear it. They're not going to care. You're going to be an empty nester, and you're going to wish that you were back in this moment, hoping that you can put your daughter to bed and she can annoy you by saying, hey, Dad, can you fill up my, what did he call it?
The Awala.
The Awala. Dad, can you fill up my Awala? You are going to miss that one day, and we both know that you're going to. And I know as I sit there and say this, you're like, God damn it. I know he's right, because we all go through that shit. We always get so mad when you get him to bed. Hey, Dad, I'm hungry all of a sudden. It's like, buddy, Rue, that is why you had to eat your dinner. There's no snacking. There's no snacking at night. We got to set a precedent. We got to stand on business. Dad, can I listen? I go through the water phase. Or we're in the water phase. Like, Dad, can I have some water? I'll already kind of have it filled up, but here would be some unsolicited advice that I would give you before you enter that war room.
Yeah.
Each night is you lay out the expectation of bedtime. And it doesn't always go smooth. It doesn't. We know that it doesn't. But if you lay out the expectation like, hey, we're going to have a good, clean, fun bedtime. We're going to have a consistent bedtime tonight. No problems.
Does the heart need to turn black for bedtime?
Yeah. When you hear that door click, your heart needs to turn black. Knowing that you have a mission to accomplish, that is bedtime.
Yeah. And
you lay out the expectations. Like, hey, we're going to get your PJs on. Rue, she'll still wear a pull-up. We're going to get the pull-up. We're going to get the PJs on. That's hasn't necessarily been a problem unless she wants to go see Mom and give her a hug before bed.
Yeah.
We're going to brush your teeth. Dad is going to brush your hair. I'm going to start low on the hair, just like you like it. We're going to try to minimize as many tangles as possible. Yeah. I know dads feel me on that. It's kind of a learning curve when you're going through brushing the hair. You got to start low. You got to start at the bottom.
That's game.
We're going to get your PJs on. We're going to read 2 books. Because what you don't want to get into is you get on a rhythm, you build some momentum. Because dads, I know we're all good storytellers out there.
Yeah.
When we're hitting the green eggs and ham, we're hitting the Fancy Nancy. I'm reading Ziggy and the 3 Little Pigs right now. Yes, they've added a 4th pig.
Hungry Caterpillar.
Hungry Caterpillar. You set the precedent with 2 books. We're going to read 2 books. We're going to brush your teeth and we're going to get in bed.
I love that.
And when we get in bed, you better not be thirsty. If you need a drink of water, you're going to drink it before you're going to drink it before you brush your teeth. Now, when you get to bed, they're still going to want that water.
Yeah.
However, now that you've set precedent and you set expectation, you can look at them, say, sweetheart, I have a water bottle sitting over there right now. We're not going to drink this water long because Dad already told you that we're not drinking water once we get in bed.
Yeah.
Now you go get them the water, they take a little sip and be like, that one's on the house. Next time it's going to cost you. But you got to understand that Dad had said we weren't going to have water. So that way it just starts to cultivate a behavior to where at least they think twice about getting the water. And if they do get the water, they're going to keep it short. They're going to keep it sweet. That would be my advice.
So don't have water living on the nightstand.
So we started that way.
Okay.
But when I knew she was going to get me for some water,
yeah,
I would already have it kind of filled up.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't fill it up very much. So when she's like, I need more water, it's like, sweetheart, we both know you're going to wet the bed if you drink more water.
Yeah.
She might throw a fit and I might end up getting her more water. But what I try to set the expectation on is this is all the water you have. Yeah. And when it's gone, it's gone. So you can have your water in the crib. I'll let you keep it in the crib if you want to, but there's only like a little bit of water in there so she can utilize the water if she wants to. She's trying to stay up. She's trying to continue to stay up and find new things.
Yeah.
When she was younger, it would be she has to tell the stairs good night. She has to tell the rail good night. She has to tell all of her stuffed animals good night.
Yep.
I got to go tell this door good night.
Ah.
You got to take them all around the house to say good night to everything.
Yeah.
But you realize they're strategizing against you. They're negotiating to stay up longer.
Uh-huh.
It's all about setting expectations right from the jump. And those expectations they won't go according to plan. However, you're setting expectations. So that way when they get there, listen, I'll get you out of bed. We can go say goodnight to the world one more time at the window. But whenever we say goodnight, we're not going anywhere else. We're going in the bed, okay? You make them say okay. And when they say okay, you get them up. You go over there. When they say goodnight to the world, where do we go now? We go to bed.
Can I pitch you a plan really quick since I have not gone through bedtime routine?
Yeah.
And you tell me if this is a good plan.
Yeah.
I get Scarlett. I say, hey, Scarlett, we're going to go get our night water. It's the only water that we're going to get before night. This is it. Let's go fill it up together. We go fill it up. Scarlett, I know that you want to say night to the stairs, to the railing. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm holding her. She's got her water. We're telling night to all the stuff that we want to do. I'm knocking out all the things that she's wanted to do with her before bed. And after we do this, we're going to bed. Let's tell the stuffed animals night. Let's tell the blah, blah, blah. Is that too much to like feed into those little things that she's wanting to do? Am I giving her too much of what she wants?
You won't know until she starts negotiating with you.
Okay.
And then after a few days, you're going to understand what her rhythm is. And what is imperative is you don't go one by one, is that you just lay out the plan before it happens. So if it's we're going to go down and get water, we're going to say goodnight to the stuff or whatever their cadence is.
Yeah.
We're going to go downstairs and get water. We're going to say goodnight to the animals. And when we say goodnight to the animals, after the last one, we're going to get in bed, okay? Once they say okay, they might want something else and they might be crying about something else. You got to know that you got to give them enough of what they're wanting, but then you implement the expectation of bedtime after that second or third thing out of their list of 5. Hey, you're not getting all 5. Here's the 3 that I'll give you because you know it's bedtime right now. Here's the 2 or 3 that I'll give you. We'll go do those things. But after that second or third one, we're going to get back in bed. Okay? Is that a deal? They'll say, okay. So then you start hitting the things. Where do we go to next? Bedtime.
2 books.
Yeah. I'm a 2-book guy. She'll get me up to 3, 4 every now and then.
Come on. You get real.
Sometimes you got to negotiate too. It'll be like you might get 2 books, and it's like I want one more book, and they're not wanting to go brush their teeth. Like, hey, sweetheart, here's what we can do. Let's brush your teeth. We'll get you in bed, and I'll read you one more book. They might not want it. They might want the book on the couch. So again, you got it. It's going to be instinct. It's going to be in the moment, but you're going to have to give to get some. It's all about places. It's all about setting the expectation. That's all I'll say. It's all about setting the expectation, laying out the expectation, and getting them to say okay, getting them to think like, okay, that is a good deal. I can get those couple things.
Okay, I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, you'll rock it.
I'm definitely like, just from the relationship of Jill and I with our dogs, like I know that I'm gonna have to be the disciplinarian, the one that's kind of setting that line. And as our Mrs. Meek or Dr. Meek is telling me, and strong fathers, strong daughters. Like I'm gonna be driving the boat.
Yeah.
So I'm already, just from my poor performance with Rue and her sticker book, of giving her exactly what she wanted in the moment, and giving JJ here in the office exactly what he wanted in the moment. I'm just like, man, with Scarlett, I gotta lock in.
Yeah.
My heart has to turn black at some point.
Yeah.
And Dada's is gonna have to step up and say, No.
Yeah, no, that's not how it's gonna go down. You gotta know, when you realize what they want, you gotta think in your mind, I'm gonna give them what they want, but you have to follow it up with what your expectation is gonna be after that, and then get them to say okay. And then when it happens, then they know, what do we do next? We get in bed.
Are you ever doing story times? Like, are you ever making stuff up? I feel like you'd be good at that.
I will if I get the light off and I'm laying next to her, because she loves when Dad lays next to her in bed at night. So I'll like lay down by her crib, because the low back, I'm not trying to like stand up the entire time or sit. Sometimes I get uncomfortable sitting. So I'll be like laying down on a pillow next to her crib.
Yeah.
If she wants another story, I'll just be like, how about Dad tells you a story? and then I'll just riff on something and tell her a story. Usually like something, it's like a sports moment that happened back in the day.
No.
Yeah, of myself, and I'll just make up a different character.
Dude, I can't wait until she becomes like aware of your playing background. That's going to be fun.
I know, it'll be interesting because it won't mean shit to him.
No.
It'll mean shit when it's cool.
Oh yeah, like elementary time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'll riff and do some story time. I love reading the children's books because I love like doing different voices. Like she would be on a kick of like Beauty and the Beast, changing Beast's voice, like changing all the voices. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, dude. Shout out Brett Burford. He was our neighbor. He and his wife would babysit while my dad and mom like went out to dinner. And he would read us the OG Harry Potters, which Miss Amy was not a fan of, my mom.
Yeah.
I don't think she knew that he was reading us Harry Potter, but he would get into that Hagrid voice and get into that Dumbledore voice. Dude,
Yeah.
I still remember that. I'm 32 years old, and I'm just dying laughing. You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, it's electric.
You'll eat that stuff up.
We have our topic, quote, or lesson
Yes,
of the
dude.
week.
So mine is going to come from, let me find it. Mine is going to come from The Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday. This book right here, highly recommend. Great one to have just on the dinner table. If you're eating every night, just a little breakup session, like, hey, you want Dad to read something out of his book? She'll say yes. And then we'll read something out of The Daily Dad. 366 Meditations on Parenting, Love, and Raising Great Kids by Ryan Holiday, a #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Obstacle is the Way and The Daily Stoic. I'm big into Stoicism. Love Ryan Holiday's books, so we rock The Daily Dad for dinner time.
Shout out going 110%. I see they went 1 day extra of a 365 day.
Yeah, right?
year.
Yeah.
You can appreciate that.
Yeah, but also it's a flex. Like, what are you trying to just make an extra day?
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah.
Come on.
This is one for man, I'm stuck between two. This one's called Just Go to Bed. So this is for dads out there, and this is great for us because we love staying up and playing PUBG.
Whoa.
A lot of career guys out there, a lot of working dads, a lot of working moms that stay up late and sacrifice their sleep to stay up late doing whatever they're doing. In our case, sometimes I'll stay up late playing a video game or just doom scrolling. Because
is he about to tell us not to do that?
He's not about to tell you not to do it. I'll read it to you. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Here's a quote from Arthur Schopenhauer. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death. The higher the interest rate and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. All right, here it is. You know your kids are a mess when they don't sleep. That's why you follow the bedtime ritual religiously. You know that kids get into trouble at night if left to their own devices. That's why your teenager has a curfew that you enforce with an iron fist. And yet here you are, up late again, mindlessly watching TV. Here you are, tired in the morning again because you were up late on your phone. You could have gone to bed. You knew you should have gone to bed, but you didn't. Who suffers? Your kids do. Because you're grouchy, because you don't have the energy, because you're behind, because maybe they even sense that you're a hypocrite. If you want to be a better parent, start going to bed earlier. Give yourself a bedtime that you honor and respect and enforce. Value sleep, take care of yourself, and everyone else will benefit.
That hits home, dude.
We do stay up.
We are two really bad.
Yeah, we can be a couple times. Definitely those couple nights a week that we'll stay up playing the video game. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing.
Yeah,
Just means that this is a great reminder that even when you do stay up late, you're just aware that we are doing it to ourselves.
That almost makes
versus staying up late, you're grouchy, you're kind of pissing and moaning at everybody. You're just in a bad mood because you stayed up late. You feel bad about yourself for doing it, and you're just more so projecting on everybody else. Something like this right here just makes me aware that I am doing it to myself. So be aware and be intentional of it the next day to know, like, if I am going off the rocker a little bit, that it's only because I did it to myself the night before.
That just inspired me as far as PUBG nights go, because now I know the cost.
And it's a cost that we will continue to pay.
It is a cost. Like,
and know that we got to be accountability buddies the next day.
Truly.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we already kind of do at the office. Those next days, like I pump coffee into my veins. I'm like, I know what I did.
Yeah.
And I gotta show up this next day and kick ass. But I do love that message just because as far as work goes, I obviously don't have a kid yet. But as far as work goes, dude, when I'm getting that sleep, it's crazy how much better I'm operating. And so applying that to like, you know, being able to have those conversations with my kids and my wife and be more there, be more present.
Yeah. That's
a good learning lesson. Did you have another one?
It's a good little reminder. I did have two. I might as well just read the second one since we're here. This one's called It's Good That You Worry About This. A quote from Michael Ian Black. One great thing about having kids is that they force you into an active practice of love, whether you're ready for it or not. The question hits you in a soft place. It hits you when you least expect it, and yet it's there constantly. Am I a good parent? Am I screwing this up? Your own parents will try to reassure you that every parent thinks this way. Except that's not true. There are, in fact, two types of parents who never think that. There are parents who are so convinced that they're the center of the universe that they never question themselves, never wonder what they're doing wrong. Then there are parents who don't even care enough to ask. Although they are very different, in the end, these two types of parents are the same. They are not good parents. But you, the type who is always checking in and wondering, am I doing enough? Who actually cares about whether you're doing a good job or not, you are by definition a good parent because you are thinking about your kids first, not yourself. It's proof that you care, that you have self-awareness, that you're always trying to improve, that you would stop to evaluate your own performance, that it would bother you to give anything less than the full measure of your devotion is all the evidence you need to reach a positive conclusion. So if you feel that negative thought, that doubt come up today, be reassured. It means that you're putting them first, and it means that you're doing a good job.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, solid one for parents. It kind of sucks to read where he just says they're not good parents, because I'm sure it's like, you know, I feel like every parent kind of thinks or wonders if they're doing a good job or not. Right?
Of course. Yes. Everybody thinks that about anything in their life, not just parenting, of like, am I a good friend? Am I a good husband? Am I a good employee?
Yeah. I guess it's like a good reminder or shift in perspective of asking yourself, like, have I checked in with the wife? Have I checked in with my wife? Have I checked in with my kids? Have I checked in with myself to kind of measure performance, whatever that performance is? I don't think there is like a measuring stick for it.
Yeah.
But if you're at least like conscious of it enough to think like, so, because we don't know what our blind spots are unless we ask people in our close circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's something that I'm already starting to think about with like everything that's coming up, and like the next 3 weeks for me are about to be a whirlwind. It's about to be crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm already starting to think to myself about like still trying to prioritize Jill, even though Scarlett is going to be in the picture, and like that's going to be our main focus no matter what. But with postpartum depression and all the things that you hear of like, hey, is Jill, like, am I doing enough for Scarlett, but am I also doing enough to support Jill, and is Jill okay in this moment? Yeah. You know, I feel like it's one of those things that like we were talking about last week, when you ask yourself, you're like, man, I hope I'm going to be a good dad. It's like the fact that you're asking yourself that, or that you're wanting that, that's already a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and if you're somebody out there thinking of, because I like what you said about like just, you know, making sure Jill's all right. If Jill's good, being on the same page with Jill, it's like essentially asking your wife those questions, like, you know, hey, am I doing enough? What do you need from me right now? Or am I operating how you would assumed? If you could give me a performance evaluation right now. And some of those questions or some of those thoughts might be like scared to have with your wife. Like if you're a dad right now listening, thinking to yourself, like, maybe I haven't checked in with myself recently, or I haven't checked in with my wife, and it could be like a frightening thing because you might know what the answer is. You almost have to lean in and still seek those answers that you might not be excited to hear. Because it's one thing that we talk about all the time is like conflict delayed is conflict multiplied.
Yeah.
And so if you don't seek out those answers and rip that Band-Aid off and kind of hear something that you might not be ready to hear, it would be just to open that door. It would be like, open that door and face it and have those conversations. Because that's how you know, right? Like anytime, like I might not be doing something well enough, or when Charles and I are laying in bed and it's just as simple as like, you know, hey, what do you need out of me this week? Where it's like, we should know that answer, but it's almost allowing the space for that conversation to happen and them to even say it out loud. Or
the fact that you're even asking.
Yeah. Or like, hey, I feel like I fell short here, and you're seeking feedback, whatever that might be. It's like all those conversations are important.
I 100% have not checked in with Jill like that. I'm trying to remember the last time that I've done that. Like, truly.
Yeah. And me intentionally, I'm not thinking of the last time I actually did that. Charles and I will do, as you know, couples therapy. So I feel like that stuff comes out when we're sitting down talking about it. And sometimes you're not privy, or you're not aware. It's like, oh snap, I didn't know that, you know, this was happening, or this was in your mind. And I can do a better job of seeking out whether it's that information, her feelings in a certain situation. But yeah, dude.
Which I got to get that dialed in too.
What?
Couples therapy. That's another thing that Jill and I did premarital.
The premarital counseling. Yeah.
Prepping for, and it was awesome, dude. And I feel like every 2 weeks we're like, God, we got to get that counselor thing set up. We got to, you know, what's a therapist in Nashville?
Yeah.
I'll ask Will. I heard that he does couples, you know.
Yeah. We love doing it. There are times where I'm not necessarily sure what we're going to talk about going into it, because I'm like, I feel like everything's been going pretty smooth. And I'm not one of those types who likes to just sit in like what we're feeling in every moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm like a guy's guy, I guess, when it comes to that. But I do have a different perspective on therapy since doing it and going to it, because I do feel like we get a lot out of it, because you have a third-party perspective that has zero bias toward either of our lives.
Yes.
Helping us kind of talk through what our differences might be, and they're there to kind of help you zoom out and see it for what it is. And you like learn a different skill set of communication and what your triggers are. And you come to find out, you get some stuff off your chest that you might have been feeling and you didn't necessarily know that you were feeling. So I was really shaky on it at first. At times, I'm not like the biggest fan of going in and talking about all the emotions and the feelings of everything. It's like, hey, we know what we have to do. Why sit in this for an hour of our time? But every time we leave a session, we always feel like a lot better.
100%.
We always feel a lot better.
100%. That got me stoked. That got me wanting to. I know Jill's gonna be asleep when I get home tonight. But
buddy, it's fucking 11:30 at night.
Oh, I know.
It's been a long one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We went a little longer than even last week, but you guys said, "Hey, fuck it, just let it rip.
Don't cut it short."
Yeah, we like the longer ones. Hopefully you guys do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Shout out all the dads, man. Shout out everybody tuning in. Whether you're a mom, a dad, somebody just interested in parenting, or you guys just like listening to me and Sherm talk about stuff like this. We appreciate it, man.
We appreciate it. Shout out the guy that said he sits on a tractor and he said, make it 3 hours. I sit on a tractor all day.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No, I did not see that one, but I am laughing like I did hear that one.
Yeah.
All right, for the dads, let's fucking take out the trash, boys.
Come on. Yeah, that was... Was that on purpose?
No, I just flipping it.
That's 2 in a row.
Great sewed. Tell my wife, hey, probably 10:30.
You